It's about to go down. Michael Sean and the Takeover Legend Morning Show is back. Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Michael Sean, that's me, Jay Black.
Michael Sean and the Takeover Legend, where the truth hurts, but also makes you laugh.
Baby, tap in.
We the worst records, baby. We about to create a perfectly horrible song. Y'all know I've been in the gym, and now all I wear is tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts. Yes, I do.
Michael Sean wears
Tight shirts every day. I wear tight shirts because I'm working out some. And if I wear the right size, you won't see none of my little cuts in my arms or whatever. Short sleeve tight shirts in any type of weather. People talking trans when they see me in the street.
your shirt's so tight we can see your heartbeat.
Man, clown me if you want, I'm sticking to my guns. And when December comes, it's gonna be fun. You can crack jokes and treat me like a jerk, but one day you'll see my six-pack right through my shirt. And even if I wanted to, I just can't stop. I just might rock an Ezekiel crop top. And now all I wear is tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts, tight shirts. Yes, I do.
Michael Sean wears
Tight shirts every day. I wear tight shirts because I'm working out. Yeah. Oh, Jay Black got the festive Juneteenth coming up. Don't forget, y'all. Don't forget, y'all. I'll be in Dallas Juneteenth. I got a show in Dallas I'm hosting alongside with Lady Jade. That looks dope back there. All right. I'll put 200 in the net put. Everybody present, everybody present, everybody present, everybody present, everybody present. Asha, the Knicks will take the series. Bet some food stamps on it. Facts on facts on facts. Facts on facts on facts.
What up, Afro Queen?
Afro Queen was
Ash,
good there. Ash was good. Afro, TP, everybody in here early. Get in here early because you know what it is. Because you know what we made. Because you know what it is. Tomorrow I will be in Harlem, New York. There's comedy in Harlem for the pre-Mother's Day brunch comedy show. Stacey Mitchell, you riding up there with me? Let me know. Parker, Miss Parker, I will send you the information today, Miss Parker. Let me see if you're gonna be
she
in
got
the
the rose. She got the rose early in the morning. She's showing she's playing with the rose, Mike. Okay.
If you see me and you trying to see what's up, he wanna fuck with me, then I'ma have him stuck.
I don't know if you in a relationship supposed to be telling us that you playing with the rose, but okay.
If you see me and you trying to see what's up, he wanna fuck with me, then I'ma have him stuck.
Yes, Miss Clark is Miss Clark. Come get some.
If you see me and you trying to see what's up, he wanna fuck with me, then I'ma have him stuck.
Yeah, TP, come get some. It's here. It's here. We done did it. We done made it to a Friday. Every therapist will tell you you are supposed to live every day like Friday. You can't live your life trying to get to one day. Well, the whole damn week shouldn't be this difficult. How was your night, Jay Black?
Night was good. Hollered at my doctor. I got some new meds. I slept better. I didn't wake up till about 5:17. So I'm up. I didn't knock back off. So just got these new meds to help me sleep.
I tried to tell you, should have been got them meds. You should have been got them meds.
Yeah, so that's
Those
good.
are real drugs. Those are real drugs.
We planned out our summer vacations all summer, so we got that figured out for the fam. We know what we're doing each month, so that's all squared away. So I feel good.
Nice. Legs is in the building. What up? Good morning, Legs. Good morning.
She came back. All right.
She came back. I'm gonna address that later. Okay.
Ashley Newman. What up?
All right, party people.
Mama?
I had a 54-year-old moment yesterday.
54-year-old mom. Okay.
The reality hit yesterday.
LaShawn.
Anybody who knows.
Kirsten. Rashida. What up? Good morning.
My two favorite rappers in history right now. KRS-One and Kendrick Lamar. Not saying they're the best. I'm saying those are my two favorites.
Okay.
And yesterday afternoon, I got an email, and they were 2 tickets to the Kendrick Lamar concert
Oh.
at MetLife Stadium.
Oh, that's close. Jersey, South Jersey, North Jersey, whatever.
It's like an
Jersey.
hour. It's an hour, like 20-minute drive. It's an hour, like 20 minutes.
What up, Asha?
And I had to make a decision. I only had 2. I had to make a decision. Am I really going?
Cool.
Because I was working last night. I was working.
Oh, the concert was last night?
It was last night, 7 o'clock. SZA.
Oh.
The concert that is breaking records, y'all.
Last second concert for a 50-year. Oh, let's see how this played out. Okay.
I don't get off of work at 7 until 7 o'clock. But being that I'm a star employee who is a number 1 top tier type of reliable, they know they can come to me. Unless I got a comedy show, I'm in the building. I could have said, yo, I got tickets to see Kendrick Lamar. I mean, a halftime legendary show. I got tickets.
Okay. Kendrick Lamar, SZA. Mike got tickets. He's 54-year-old. He got tickets to the concert.
2 tickets.
How many guests? You plus 1? Okay. What we do? Let me hear how it went. Let me see the photos. When Mike went to the concert last night, let me hear about it. What
I gave him to my daughter Amani.
What? You earned, like, that was your ticket.
I gave him to my. First of all, I requested 4 tickets. I asked for 4 tickets from the radio station I work on, but they couldn't get 4. They got 2, which is tough because I was like, well, I guess I'm going to go because I can't, you know what I'm saying, whatever. Anyway, as things would have it, things worked out. As I'm going back to work from lunch.
What up, Beth?
Because I'm sitting on these tickets. In my mind, I'm like, I'm going to sell them. I'm going to sell these tickets.
Yeah, they hot come out. Kendrick's in town. I got 2 tickets. I need at least what, 200? 100? No, I ain't gonna get 200. Probably get 50 a piece.
So I'm about to run back from lunch and I hear my mom on the phone. I never asked who my mom was on the phone with.
You don't get to dictate when it's over. I'm sorry.
I never asked when my mom's on the phone. So I just happened to walk by and God would have me say, who you on the phone with? And she said, Akela, one of my daughters.
Okay.
And I said, ain't this about a bitch? God just said, yeah, you gonna run them tickets.
I need that.
Yeah. It was like, you gonna run them tickets.
They said no sketches allowed. 54-year-olds. This is for
no
you.
Sketches allowed. No sketches allowed. So
you can go, Ash. I already could tell.
So the problem was, Akela was at work. She don't get off till 4. The show starts at 7. They got to get a ride up there. And I was like, I was literally going to keep the tickets to myself because I didn't want to have to decide like what to do with these tickets because I knew. And
you only got 2. You got twins. Yeah. You got 3 daughters. They probably didn't want to go with each other.
And I thought Monty was working. So and when I said, Monty got to work because when Monty works, she works 2 jobs. Like Monty don't come home till like 10:30 at night. So I said, well, where's Monty? Monty at work? My mom said, nope. I said, well, I gotta call her.
Let me see if Monty want these Kendrick Lamar and SZA tickets right here.
I gotta call her. I literally didn't know her schedule. I should have known. That's bad parenting on my part. I really don't know her schedule like that. Like I know she works 2 jobs, and I know we see each other. I know when what time. You know when I know when she gets home. When she gets home.
You know? Oh, when she gets home. When she there. Okay, she's
when
back.
I hit the dog park, I know Monty's home. When I hit the dog park, Monty's home. So I haven't even gotten a report from the show yet. So my 54-year-old moment was, and let me tell you the truth, I wanted to go, and I could have got off work to go, but this is my 54-year-old moment. Yes. Did I really want to drive to MetLife Stadium an hour and 15 minutes?
You sounded old. Go ahead. Here you go.
Did I really want to drive?
How often do Kendrick Lamar and SZA come this close?
That's my only chance I'm ever going to get to see my favorite rapper of all time. Him and KRS-One, my favorite rappers of all time.
God.
And then I was really like, dude, this is when I knew I was 54. I said, do I really want to drive an hour, 15, 20 minutes? And do I really want to pay for parking? I said, Michael Sean, you are 54. This is when I really knew I was 54 years old. I ain't have no roster of people to call to take.
I
ain't even have a roster.
I can call Miss Clark. I can call Stacy Mitchell. You got like friends. You ain't.
But these friends, they all got a life. So you can't just call anybody over 40 and be like, yo, in 3 hours, you want to go to Kendrick Lamar.
They got a plan. They need to structure this out. What are you talking about? Ain't no last minute concerts after 50.
Back in my day, back when I was on the radio in Philly, I could have called Ryan Banks spur of the moment. Yo, Ryan, I got these tickets to Kendrick Lamar. What time you picking me up?
For sure. Yo, what time? Yo, I'll be ready.
I could have called Sugar Bear. I could have definitely called Fields. Like, Fields, I'll pick you up. He on Temple University. I could have called Jay Black. Yo, Jay, I got these tickets to go see Kendrick Lamar. Jay Black. We got time to meet at the Comfort Inn, or we going straight? We going to the bar, or we going straight? Oh, we got to bring our drinks. No, we might have to stop at the liquor store. Okay. All that shit ran through my mind, Mike. I would have went. We love him.
Tawana would have went. See, you could have called
Tawana. Do you know what's funny? Tawana came to mind. But I was like, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, yeah, she got a dude. You can't go with like she can't. Y'all can't scoop and go to a concert together. No,
that's how we would have had to go.
No, that would have been so disrespectful to our relationship. No,
I mean, we went to meetings together. I scooped her up in a meeting.
That's different. This is different. This is different.
But I did think of Tawana because I know. But then this is. Let me tell you why. Tawana, when she goes to concerts, Tawana Coleman needs to be like in the mix. She needs to be like, she can't be on the second level. She needs to be like floor, first level. And they weren't first level seats. They were still good seats, but they weren't first level seats.
Oh, she a little bougie. So she like, so you got expectations. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, my mom can't take her. So yeah, that was the 54-year-old moment I had. I said, damn, I was really thinking about traffic.
So you didn't make it to the concert. You didn't go. But Monty,
we'll get a report from Monty.
Oh, good. So here's the thing with Monty. So she can give us an update.
Hopefully she took videos, and hopefully she did all that, and she can play the videos that she can play on here and stuff like that. So
Mike didn't go to the concert to see one of his favorite rappers. That's crazy. All because of you 54. You putting it on age. That's crazy though. At 54 now, you got to make an excuse. If you really want to,
okay, I ain't want to put light on me. Okay, thanks for the thought. No, Jay, no disrespect. Kenny trust me to do right, but I wouldn't have had the right outfit. I'm telling you, Tawana's. Listen, I'm speaking from a distance. Tawana's man don't have no problem with me picking her up and going to a meeting an hour and a half away.
Kudos to him.
So.
Well, you said you was about to shine a light on yourself. Let me hear.
Okay. Here's another reason. I have a show Saturday, right?
This Saturday,
and I also have Monday off, which means I'm already losing a bunch of hours at work. So I wasn't going to lose anymore because I make up those hours that I lose during the week. So I'll work extra hours. So another thing in my mind was I'm normally averaging between 88 and 90 something hours. Technically, yeah, 90 hours every 2 weeks on the check. So between that and the comedy shows, it gives me that's why finances have been cool. I've been able to grind it out. So I ain't want to miss no more hours because I would have had to have left. I would have missed another 4 hours. So listen. I could have done it. It wouldn't really change nothing. But when I have something in my mind that this is the way I do things, I normally stick to them. Sober Mike, I normally stick to them and I keep it in line. I'm like, yeah, I got a show tomorrow. I don't want to dig into the profits. The show, I got that. You know what I mean? Like that was the other thing. But we gonna keep this show. Dr. Aaron Smith is on the show tomorrow.
Yep. No, today.
Today.
Dr. Aaron Smith.
Later on the show. Oh, I didn't send him the link. Oh, let me do that for him. Let me
you want me to do it? Do you want email or you want to text it?
I don't care. Do it however you want to do it.
I got you. I'll do it right now.
I did forget the link. My bad on that. I did forget to send him the link.
I work on that while you keep going.
All right. I just want to tell y'all something because I'm not going to harp on this. I want to tell everybody who watches this show. I truly appreciate, and I've said this a zillion times, how much y'all support this show. I really do. I think this platform, by the time September comes around, we're going to be in a different space, and there's going to be bigger things happening, and this show's going to be become a lot more popular. But I'm never going to forget those 30, 35, sometimes 40, on a good day, 50 people
and especially y'all 30, y'all Miss Parkers, y'all Stacy Mitchells, y'all Miss Clarks, y'all Afro Queen, y'all TPs, y'all Cocos, who am I missing? LaShawns, y'all Ashley Newmans, y'all Ashas, y'all Ashley, Kendrick is different. SZA's voice is amazing. That was a reasonable choice, Mike. Thank all y'all. I appreciate none of y'all. You guys will all be VIP. Trendsetter will be VIP. All y'all will be VIP. But I want y'all to understand, when I say this is a safe space to say what you want, it is a safe space to say what the fuck you want to say. And if people have a different opinion on it, that's what this is all based on.
Yeah. Safe
so
space. Still consequences, but it's still consequences.
Well, that's consequences for everybody. There's no consequence. There's just a different point. There's just a different point of view.
But you can change how people look at you and view you. Like that, like because you said, we've been on this show. We had some heated from a pro-life to pro-choice to parenting. And then it usually never comes back up. But if I think I've never had a disagreement with someone from another race and felt that I don't know if I like them. Like I don't know if I like that kind of like
sensitivity. Because if somebody says a statement, and you got to realize
how I feel.
This is text messages. This is not having a conversation. Anything can be read into a text message. But I'm gonna stand on this because I'm not gonna take sides on anything. I didn't say I agree with anything, and I don't want to get this into a bash people. If you are going to take personal to the point that somebody makes a comment on what they truly think, then that goes against the whole fucking thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true too. But I usually remove myself from around people that doesn't share my same energy when it comes to certain things. Meaning, how they say, go where you celebrate and not tolerate it. If I know deep down you really ain't rocking with me, why would I be around people like that?
We're gonna get into this. That comment did not bring that out.
I don't know.
That comment was a different point of view on something.
I don't know.
There was a different point of view.
I'm gonna try to move on.
But that comment was a different point of view on another person's comment and on another person's delivery.
Shout out to Lady Q working with Spice. She got new shirts that I could be mean. I said this is the perfect time for me to wear that shirt.
And let me tell y'all how y'all broke the rules yesterday. Let me tell y'all how y'all broke the rules yesterday.
Let me hear.
Let me tell you how.
Ash said, "Drop the link." Ash got a comment. That's what I'm talking about.
Everybody, let me tell y'all, motherfuckers. When I play this,
Jones barbecue and foot massage. Jones barbecue and foot massage. Better
release the tension. I put that in there for me. I put that in there for me so I could readjust,
reset,
and reset.
Mm-hmm.
I played pizza. I played everything.
It wasn't working yesterday though. It wasn't.
And I can clown all y'all for how sensitive records. Everybody was like we was gonna change the world. Freedom of speech is a safe space. Yes, it is, Jeanette.
Yeah, it is. It is. It is. Yeah.
Yes, ladies.
Jones barbecue and foot massage. Jones barbecue and foot massage. Better come down here, get some of this shit. You like?
Yeah, that's the bad thing about typing and texting. And y'all as adults, everybody over 40, y'all can do what y'all want. But I'm not gonna run with a text message. I'm gonna run with it if I think it's a good dialogue and good debate. But when y'all start, when Jay says, "Oh, I changed my opinion on the person," it's a text. The person doesn't even have the chance to.
When you double down, when Trump doubled down, doesn't that change your perspective on that?
No, because we double down every day, but you hypocrites want to act like it's different when somebody else does it.
Well, we would play it, Tawana. I would tell you to go to YouTube, but Trendsetters Drop got us copyright issues yesterday from the Kamari drop. So it ain't on YouTube, but
I told y'all that yesterday. The OJs,
we got
you gotta cut the song. You gotta cut the song from the OJs. You can't play it in the beginning.
Inflection and tone matters. It does. And sometimes reading words 100% doesn't give you that inflection and tone.
And I played the pizza. Y'all ain't listen. I played pizza.
I'm getting the kids ready for school.
I'm getting the kids ready for school.
Oh, they say.
Yes.
Jones barbecue and foot massage. Jones barbecue and foot massage. Better come down here, get some of this shit. You like to eat. America loves to eat.
Hey, that damn it, you reset.
Reset.
You reset.
Reset. Refocus, people.
You know what shit Coco has said on this show?
Coco ain't never said nothing against a whole race of people. Stop.
Oh, you ain't heard it say. Coco got a big problem with this show. He got a big problem with this show. That's why I said he should. I said, Coco, you should come up here and voice your opinion. Coco got a big problem with us with us blaming white people for shit. He does. But when I played
Jones
it,
barbecue and foot massage. Jones barbecue and foot massage. You better come down here.
deep breath.
The good doctors here.
I crack jokes. I put jokes out there.
It didn't work.
Because if we're gonna have these
She
got Dick Dash.
y'all needed that. Y'all needed that. Yes, you do, Cypher. You got a big problem because you're like the race conversation. Do not try and act like you don't.
Well, that's why they say keep race, politics, and religion like out of work certain aspects, because that does strike a chord. But usually politics I can care less about. Is the race. Like I feel like maybe because it's another race. If it was a black person that had I still would look. I don't know.
Racist.
I don't know. I'm sure if Dr. Aaron Smith was here yesterday, he would probably have some thoughts too. But yeah, it's either. But we move on. We trying to move on, right? We trying to move
Cypher
on. Right?
always got something to say. Laugh. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He does have a problem with the race talk on the show. He does. Now, if I'm speaking for you, then get on the motherfucking link and then speak for yourself.
Well, let's bring him in. He's in the waiting room. He's ready. He's here early. You got your applause ready.
Yeah,
so he got what, 3 master degrees or 4?
It don't matter. He's
got
just an intelligent person.
He's working. I've never even heard of something he's working on. What is it called? Well, good morning, Dr. Aaron Smith. Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, everybody.
Doctor, you here so early, you're going to have to look over some of these. You're going to have to do the clips.
Oh, they said players drop. We do have a drop from. Oh, I'm sorry.
Does it have the OJs on it? Have you regulated that fake ass producer?
let me make
sure.
So
this one won't get taken off of YouTube?
Does it have the OJs on it? Trendsetter making it drop.
Nah.
Let's
it just
see,
got the Temptations music behind it. That's all.
State of Van Glorious, as we are protected by the red, the black, and the green.
Yeah, maybe that's playing too much of that.
Yeah. Now you got Parliament funk samples. You got X-Clam.
Yeah.
Hey, Trendsetter, we got rules. This ain't Twitch.
George Clinton coming to Temple next week. We're gonna talk to him.
Yeah, he about to sue us.
I should ask for clearance when I see him.
He's about to ask for clearance.
Yeah, we can't even play your drop. Yeah, we're gonna get some new ones. We're gonna get Trendsetter to make some new
All you gotta
ones.
do is just cut it, make sure it's 10 seconds. We just need a 10-second intro. We just need a 10
Good morning. And now Mike, they got the AI that makes the beats and the songs and everything too. So you can use some of these apps to make original beats and music and then do something over that. Whoever's putting it together. Like there's ways now.
Let's bring up Trendsetter, the reason why our show got taken off of YouTube yesterday.
Let me hit Trendsetter. You there?
Look,
What's up, man?
All right, Trendsetter. All right,
you got us cut yesterday.
First, Jay Black got us suspended when I wasn't on the show. I come back from the show, Jay Black over here talking crazy, and next thing you know, we got a 3-week suspension. Trendsetter, explain yourself. What's going on, Trendsetter? What happened?
Man, I redid the drops and everything, so they won't be blocked, man. My apologies. And when I heard you yesterday when you said about the 10-second rule. When you were talking about that,
look what Trendsetter did to he slammed the show. He got us off YouTube.
We had a race relation show yesterday. It was popping. It was a lot of emotions and passion. And now I don't even think it's on YouTube no more. Now I got to re-download it and upload it again.
I was wondering why it was so easy for me to get on here today, because normally the show might be downloading still and stuff like that. But Trendsetter, in all reality, we really appreciate you putting in the work to do the drops for us. So we do appreciate it.
Appreciate you, homie.
Oh, no doubt, man. No doubt.
All right. So thanks, Trendsetter. We gonna joke about you the rest of the show. So don't take it personal. We're gonna joke about you the rest of the show.
Oh no, never. Hey man, just let people know this, man. When you come into this show, there's gonna be some opinions that you might agree with. There's gonna be some things that you might not be feeling. But at the end of the day, like you said, it's a place where you can, pretty much express yourself on any level. But at the same time, don't log off with your feelings in your pocket. You feel what I'm saying? So
you hear that, Jay? Don't log off with your feelings in your pocket.
My feelings are still in my pocket. I'm just being honest, but I'm gonna get it out eventually. But right now, it's still there. It's still there a little bit, but it's all good.
Look,
I can speak to that.
I know. But at the same time, the content on the show, you know, I mean, we hitting all kinds of levels, you know, and we gonna hit some sensitive spots in people.
Yeah.
It's just that type of show, but at the same time, we don't keep
How
them
the
on their
host gonna
toes. Who
get
will?
sensitive? How the host gonna get sensitive? The host can't get sensitive. The host can't leave.
I'm
and
just
be
tired of
sensitive
white people
record.
trying to run. I'm about sick of white. No,
But see,
go ahead.
this is my point. You keep putting all white people on
I
one
did.
person's comment.
I did.
And then you get mad when we got to deal with the repercussions of
All right,
everybody
we
putting
move on.
everything
We
in
move on.
our
Trendsetter, good morning, Trendsetter. We appreciate you again, homie.
the
All right,
fucking host.
stick around,
The
homie.
host
All right.
couldn't follow the rules.
Trendsetter's out.
Trendsetter,
Yeah,
the host
yeah.
couldn't follow the rules.
All right, he's gone. Trendsetter's gone.
All right.
That's our guess. We move
Before
on.
we get into this, you're gonna have to now. You're early. You're gonna have to be part of the show.
All right,
we're
let's do
gonna
it.
get into your segment.
I'm here to work.
Number one, I went to your lecture for our sinners last Sunday. It was amazing. It was powerful. Your humor in the middle, during the entire lecture. I almost that was one thing I wanted to tell you. Like you were like, Fearless would do things like he would say something funny, say, hey, I'm not gonna go too far. Sometimes I need you to keep going with that because some of them comments that you made were absolutely poignant and hilarious. But all in all, listen, it was dope. Whatever lecture you have, I've been trying to think of how can we formulate a lecture that we have somewhere other than me promoting comedy shows. How can we do something where you do the same thing at a place around here and I promote it and everybody comes out and we talk and you tell me what it is that you would like the lecture to be about, and then that's how we promote. This is what it's going to be about. Then you come rock it, and we get the sound system, and we get the everything you had, the graphics that you had, the video images that you have, stuff like that. All right,
you know, there's a big lane open, Mike. You know that popular podcast that was traveling. You know, I'm not going to name it, but a lot of people know what I'm talking about. Where they have a lot of clips online. You know, they had a lot of falling out recently. So there was a major traveling black podcast.
You know, I discovered that girl that was in there.
Well, now you know they
I
accused
discovered her.
I'm saying they accused the leader of doing a lot of stuff and all that.
She did.
And
yep.
I'm saying there's a lot of open lanes. Diddy got a lane that's open now. You know, Joe, what's his name? Matt Hoffa is not doing his thing right now with you know his podcast. So there's a lot of opportunities for us to get out there, so we can do some stuff.
And relationship crew with Ace, Stacey Mitchell. All right, tonight's conversation. Keita Rose.
I wasn't gonna say
we had Keita Rose on the show. We had Keita Rose on the show.
She's a friend. Yeah, she's
way before. I took her to do an open mic and a whole nine.
And ours will be a little different, like you said. If we do something with a lecture and a comedy, like it'll be a little different, different type of slant. But there's appetite for that kind of stuff.
And I'll just make sure I just don't fuck any other woman.
Lecture would be white tears. I think white tears would be a good one. All right, go ahead.
That kind of limits us to what we're doing.
Okay,
that would be dope. That kind of limits us to what
all the jokes and all the lectures.
He's still in his pocket.
And you started off with a dope Meek Mills freestyle that I said, oh, this is gonna be corny, but he is the rapping professor, and it was fire.
I was like, who?
You started off this lecture with. He said the great Meek Mills, and I said no, don't. I said, oh, this is fire. Oh, this is energy. Oh, I said, this is the real rap. Okay, this is the Fearless coming out. Okay,
speak like this, the peeps like this.
Yeah, he killed it. Like you killed that lecture. I watched it on YouTube, and I thought it was dope. And I saw the crowd, and that's when I laughed, took pictures of Mike in the audience. So
we're gonna figure that out. That's a grand idea. Let's go. I should say let's go. What do we want to hit first? Do we want to do a lies detected? All right, let's just do this because I want to get these two out the way. So I realized something, that the way to get under the Trumpster's skin may not be through common sense. It may not be through policy, even though I continue to do it. Jasmine Crockett, everybody, I see y'all putting the full court press. I see a lot of things that are happening. I see these town hall meetings, and these town halls ain't going the way Republicans want, especially with midterm elections and everything like that. But I realized all this man has ever wanted to do was be a cool kid. And he realizes he's not. He realizes that without the money, he's not a cool kid. See, guys like George Clooney. George Clooney is a cool kid even without the money. Before, when he was on Roseanne, he was part of a clique. Like people knew this guy was going to be a star because he had star qualities. There's certain people who, listen, before Jay-Z was part of the cool kids in hip hop, he was part of the cool kids in another industry. He was major in another industry. There's certain people who are dope even when they're just average folks. People seem to surround them and want to be around them. There's always that person at your job, at a regular 9-to-5 job, who seems to have the attention of everybody, whether they do it on purpose or not. They just happen to. It's just something that happens. I've been able to attract people in high school. I never tried to be with the cool kids. I formed my own clique just by osmosis. I just happened to form my own clique, and we wound up running through all the parties, white boy parties, black parties, hood parties, bougie parties, and everybody knew it was our clique. They knew. But if you eliminate Mr. Trump from things, he gets very sensitive. This is a man who took time out to address the fact that he didn't get invited to the Met Gala. And he also exposed certain things on his basic need to be part of the cool kids on what he decided to do. I'm going to let y'all watch this. Here we go.
Pitiful Met Gala organizers actually let Kamala Harris walk the red carpet, but they dared to ban me, the greatest president in American history, from attending. This is simply the biggest scandal in the fashion industry of the United States. No one understands the red carpet better than I do. During the golden era I created when I was in the White House, over 100,000 designer jobs were added in New York.
I don't even know if there are 100,000 designer jobs in New York, but I'm just going to let that go. I'm going to let it go, but go ahead.
But these ungrateful fashion experts now would rather invite Harris, who can't even speak coherently, than allow a real star like me to enter. The Met Gala is nothing but a money laundering club of the Democratic Party. There must be taxpayers and money hidden in that ridiculous gown Harris wore. Just you wait. These corrupt fashion shows won't get any tax breaks anymore.
So I want to stop it there. They will not get any tax breaks anymore because he didn't get invited. He didn't get invited.
I will make the American red carpet great again and burn all the shabby gowns with socialist buttons.
This AI, that can't be real.
It gotta be AI.
That can't be real. No, that gotta be AI. That gotta be.
You gotta make red carpets great again.
I think that was AI. He said things just
Don't
as
worry
bad.
about it. Don't worry about it.
We're gonna act like
the
it's
fact
real.
that we gotta question whether it was or not, that says a lot.
Don't worry about it.
He's capable of making those.
This is the same man that sat in front of the Canadian Prime Minister and to the cameras while the Prime Minister was next to him said, "We don't do a lot of business with Canada anyway." And the Prime Minister had to come in and say, "With all due respect, we're your biggest client,
biggest partner, biggest trading partner."
Yeah. We don't even know. Facts, dumb. He has spent his life trying to fit in and be with the cool crowd. Always felt like an outcast. Look like one. Man, you are not invited.
Not invited.
He makes me sick. But this is the thing about the Trump being part of Trump. It is cool to support Trump when you are in front of the cameras at the White House, when Mark Rubio and all these cats are sitting in the Oval Office, because you have the protection. There's only one person that can get away with this shit in the Republican Party. It's him. He's the only person. Because when you hit the road and start doing town halls and you start speaking to the people, let me tell you something. It's not as cool anymore when you ain't got the protection. Example right here.
DOGE is not dismantling Social Security. And even with reconciliation, we are not allowed to touch Social Security. The work that I have specifically been doing, I am on the Judiciary Committee and the Natural Resources Committee.
I worked for the U.S. Department of Agriculture, helping Wyoming family farmers deal with drought until I was...
Oh, here's a question.
A month ago in the mass firings, and despite only having the highest marks in my performance review. In a state where so many farmers rely on government programs for drought and disaster relief, Trump's plans to cut these programs and the people who administer them, coupled with the tariffs, will decimate Wyoming farms and rural communities. What are you doing about that?
This is the answer.
I disagree. well aware of what kind of programs are out there. It's so bizarre to me how obsessed you are with federal government. But here's the thing.
Now you see, he can get away with saying stupidity and saying blatant lies, but you can't. When you try your hand at this, when you say about the federal government, I can't believe your obsession.
But here's the thing. You guys are going to have a heart attack if you don't calm down.
See, you can't get away with saying, I can't believe your obsession with the federal government. What? What exactly are we supposed to be obsessed about with what's going on? But see, you can't take that charade out. You're not that person. He is the one has been able to master these lies. He has the protection. He did what he had to do to win the election, whether it was rigged or not, whether Elon Musk had something to do with it, which is just common sense. But I'm not going to say he did or he didn't, whatever. No, I am going to say they did do it. Elon did have something with these computers.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
But you can't go out there and run that rhetoric. Matter of fact, when Trump supports candidates, they lose.
It's a new day.
So this is a remarkable phenomenon where I'm seeing, this is Wyoming. Farmers are now going like, oh, yeah, we got bamboozled. Well, you kind of deserve it, but we need your food. So we don't want you to go under.
Yeah, so the chick say, what about Nebraska?
Mad rule, that's Trump's people.
That's his people.
But this is where it is right now. And listen, I'm happy. Rarely am I happy about what's going on in this country. Rarely. But I'm happy to see that at least we'll see if this makes a difference. That these Trump puppets are catching the hell for their boldness when they're around their protector. But when they come out to the people, they realize they're stripped naked because nobody is going to believe your bullshit. I don't know how he mastered it. I don't know all the different techniques that they did. I don't know how he got stupidity to follow stupidity. Maybe that was it. He got stupidity to follow stupidity. Maybe that was the golden rule. Get dumb people to follow dumb shit and make them feel like the dumb people are better than another group of people and they'll fall for it every time. Maybe I answered my own question. I have no idea, doctor. What are your thoughts?
I think these midterm elections are going to be amazing. Because the sister that was just talking is about to be. We're in 2025. The re-election, the midterms, it's November 3rd, 2026. It's right around the corner. So talking down to people like that, and people ain't gonna forget that within a year. You might have said that in 2023 when she first got elected, knowing that she wasn't gonna get re-elected until 2026. November 3rd, 2026, her seat is up. And I know people are working now and getting money together and preparing candidates. A lot of these people, the writing's on the wall. They don't know what kind of bloodbath this is going to be in 2026. People keep talking about Trump 4 years from now. No, next year. Like you said, everything he's doing is going to be taken out on the people we have access to impacting. And then people talking like him and talking down to us who we can touch and who we can, take their jobs. They're out of here and don't even know it. Because like you said, they think they're safe. They think they're cool. They think they're him. And they're going to learn in 2026 that there's a big difference.
But what gives you that idea? Because they seem like they still rocking with them. The racism that's in these people, the racists, they're still going to stand by that, a lot of them. So what facts do we have to say that, yeah, we're going to be able to flip all these seats?
You could stand by racists and not stand by that representative of racism. A lot of people argue that they don't vote because it's, two wings on the same bird. So I'm not saying the system's going to change. I talked a lot last week about the difference between individuals and institutions. So I'm not saying the institution or the Republican Party is going to change. I'm saying the current faces of the Republican Party, the people that are talking down to people and acting like Trump, they'll find a new racist All they want is a person to advance the agenda anyway. The reason why they picked Trump is because they thought he was gonna advance an agenda that didn't affect them and affected brown and black people and all that and kept their privilege intact. I'm not saying that the people are going to change. I'm not saying I have any faith in the Republican Party. I'm saying the Republican Party ain't going to be talked down to like they some black people because they want black people to be talked like that and not them. And they're going to make sure they get a new representative for their racism. Not the one talking crazy like I disagree and y'all gonna have a heart attack. Get out of here then. We can find a new racist.
So we will see. We will see. But on Friday, because we're gonna officially start your segment in I'll say 11 minutes. So I want to get to stuff that you want to talk about. There's some stuff that on Lies Detective that are back to old school mentality. There's a comedian named Miss Pat who I really like, who has a show on, I think it's either BET or BET Plus. And Miss Pat was on a podcast. And this is our lies detected. I want the women, the men, to say, are there any lies detected? In the comment that Miss Pat said why relationships are failing and why women aren't getting maybe what they want out of relationships. So this is another edition of Lies.
It's time for action. Yeah. Thanks you for joining the Takeover Legends. It's time for No Lies Detected.
Right here.
There it comes.
Yeah. Then stop sucking in the first week. How should any man respect you when you showing it all?
Goddamn.
Let me look at the camera. I'm 52 years old. Yeah. I've only had 3 sexual partners in my whole.
I don't want you to
a man? Yeah. Then stop sucking in the first week. How should any man respect you when you showing it all?
Goddamn.
Let me look at the camera. I'm 52 years old. Yeah. I've only had 3 sexual partners in my whole life.
Whoa.
Because I was raised the right way.
Don't do that. I was raised good. I got a good ass mama.
How many sexual partners you had?
I don't tell my business. Just like you. Look, just like you don't tell your business, I don't tell my business.
When I was young and my stomach was flat, you couldn't go outside and show your body like that.
Right.
You couldn't show your titties. You had to be respectful. I don't know what everybody look like a hoe, but everybody want to be treated like a queen. Then not only that, black women never did cosmetic surgery back in the day. Every black here getting their lips pumped up. All you shaped like ants. And all you got, a big black ant. Problem wrong with America with women, that no longer build the man. First of all, when you get a man, you getting him from his mama. Or you getting him from the last bitch. So you got to take that man and you got to shape that man in what you want him to be. Time he ain't got no money. I got to get up out of here. Let me say this to y'all. I spent 31 years with this when he didn't have the best job. He went to General Motors, spent 22 years building the car some of y'all driving today. When I got the Miss Pat show, I looked at him and said, you can retire. You know why? Because he took, when my rent was $69 on Section 8, that paid my rent. Do you hear me?
I hear you.
Relationships ain't like that anymore. Y'all don't want to invest in a relationship.
And you respect him for that.
Yes, you want to suck and say we together, and when he ain't got no money, you want to go. Nobody has an identity anymore. All
right, so I'm gonna leave it out there. Are there any lies detected? And if they are lies detected, let me know. Holler at me. Just put them in the comments. Because it's crazy how after all the therapists talk and all the past trauma and all the long tonight's conversation go back and forth for hours and after all the in-depth, is it just as basic as stop sleeping with people? If you want respect, stop sleeping with people.
And leaving them when they broke or when they struggling or when they on the come up.
Yeah, and stop acting as if you're upset over a transactional relationship when the vagina turns into part of the transaction.
Parker said facts all day, no lies. LaShawn said exactly. Ready-made relationships, no lies detected. Ash Bass said no lies detected. All right,
no lies. Facts. Showing too much and doing too much. Okay.
Showing too much and doing too much.
No lies detected from Shelly. All right.
No lies.
If a girl is loved as a child, she most likely won't look for love and sex.
Ooh, Miss Clark said it's deeper than that. Your daddy ain't in your life and they ain't love you. That's why you out there being a floozy.
No lies. However, I'm not shaping no man. He better come ready. Okay, Nikki said, I'm not shaping no man.
She ain't got no time. They putting into you, investing into you, making you what she wants you to be. She said, you
Well,
better
I think
be
she was talking about
ready-made.
younger women. I think she was talking about like the young girls. Like at our age, yes, I think a lot of people feel differently at our age. You know, they're grown. But if you 20 to 25, yes, I think you most likely gonna have to do some shaping. You know, that both ways. You know, but yeah.
And that's the key. What you said, both ways. I think that's one of the things of making each other better. And being able to acknowledge each other and being able to be open to somebody saying, this thing you do ain't really, kind of this or that, or you say this thing you do, and having a dialogue instead of like, either you do this or it's over. Yes, when you're younger, you both shape each other. All right, Miss Clark, there you go. Is that all? Those are all of them?
Yeah, that was
Are you picking and choosing as usual? Are you
No,
trying to
I put everything up. I put everybody up.
Tells these young men to stop popping off and these young women on the first date. I try to tell you, it was the biggest lie I was ever told.
Yeah.
It was the biggest lie I was ever told, to go out here and try and be with as many women as possible. It was the biggest downfall. It was the thing that led to so much badness. If somebody would have told me to spend a minute, and instead of just telling ladies to shut their legs, we should have been told to keep our dick in our pants.
Yeah. That's shaping both ways too, right?
Yeah, that's shaping both ways too. Stop letting these young men run wild. Stop letting them go out here and run wild. And at the college draft, they already got 2 kids.
Nikki said, no, Dr. Smith, the grown ass men out there still need to be shaped too.
No, you're right. I'm one of them.
Acknowledge it. Safe space.
I need some shaving. I still need. God ain't through with me yet. I'm a work in progress.
But I'm glad you say that. I'm glad you say that, Doc. Because this is the thing about human beings, all of us, the hypocrisy. We constantly go to the cliche, I'm a work in progress. No matter how old you are. I have never gone to church and everybody who says I'm a work in progress gets a round of applause, no matter what age they are. Matter of fact, the older you get, the more poignant that comment is. When you say I'm a work in progress, that's people going like, yes, 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 you are.
Still learning, still growing.
Still learning.
Still evolving.
So if you're still learning, people tell you all the time, never stop learning. Never stop. Because once you do that, growth is over. Once you decide this is who I am for the rest of my life, a lot of people believe growth is over. So how can you not? Why do we think at a certain age we stop molding each other or changing each other? Because if that's the case, if a certain age you stop changing.
Yeah, you stuck.
And yeah, you stuck. And if that's the case, what you going to church for? Because you stuck, right? What other comments? None of us have arrived, truth be told. Yes, absolutely. I took her saying shape
big age
at our
big
age. Teach him how to love you, not how your last partner wanted to be loved.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Amen. We still need shaping.
That's something y'all do. Yeah, I got it together a little bit, but yeah, keep going.
Did you get them all? Did you get?
I got them all. I got them all. I got everybody.
Pokemon.
But you were nodding your head no, Jay Black. Like you said, I am who I am now.
Good morning, Stacey D. Say it again.
I'm in my selfish stage, and I try and get in a relationship. I'm a work in progress. Okay. Well, there's a lot of stuff going on, LaShawn. There's a lot of stuff going on. Good morning, Stacey D. Stop giving us something to eat right off the bat. Well, stop taking it.
I saw a clip when he said that you got a couple of things you got to do. You got to feed a man. You got to listen. Like it was a dope, good points. But yeah, you got to definitely, the feeding is a big deal for a lot of people. You want a woman that can cook.
But, and that's the other thing that I feel pulled and challenged with when people say, in order to keep your man, you got to feed. Is it your man or is it your husband?
Well, I want to eat the whole time. I always want to eat.
Yeah, but normally the eating goes along.
Fiance as a boyfriend, really.
I'm hungry. I'm still hungry.
But
I've been ring shopping all day. I'm hungry.
But the problem is you want it when they say it, not what you want. What they say is you got to feed them, you got to so-and-so, and you got to fuck them. Those are always the 3 things. And sex has to do with one. I've learned that a lot of women can't cook. I was shocked. Why are you shocked?
They must look like something nice.
Oh, we're talking about cooking. My bad. Oh, I said just like every man can't fix a car, not everyone knows how to cook. Not every woman knows how to cook. I can't fix a car. Asha, boo, I'm letting you know before the wedding. Go ahead, put that back up. Put it back up there. I mean, but not every woman should be held to that standard. Most chefs are men. These cliches, these things are crazy. You can only keep a person who wants to be kept. Facts. That goes in there. Well,
I think this woman here was telling you how to keep a man. She was giving you her insight.
Clean, wash nothing, don't do none of that household stuff.
She said her husband don't have to do any of this stuff.
Come in the house, he sit down, I get my behind off that couch, go heat his food up. If he can come in the house 2:30 a.m., that's after midnight, and say I want a sandwich, I'm getting my sleepy butt out that bed and go make a sandwich. That's what I'm gonna do.
Put the cheese on that thing too.
Oh yeah,
put the cheese on that thing too.
They want to look at submission and all this other stuff, getting some shoes and barefoot and pregnant. It's about being agreeable, about being cooperative, and about listening. And that's letting the man leave. You know, I can do this. And again, like you said, it's independent and independence is two different things.
Absolutely.
I was independent in the Army. Struggle, senior leaders struggle because all I had to do was reach out and ask for help. Independent means doing it alone by yourself. Right. Independence means, okay, yeah, I can still go to college. I can still contribute. I can still do this. I had that stuff all wrong in my relationship with my son's dad. Had it all wrong. I won't do it again.
So she figured it out. Independence versus independent.
All right, I advise you to find out why he came home at 2 a.m.
He was still on that part. He might work the night shift, right?
And that's what I want.
Work overtime.
If you working,
yeah, he's working.
Her man ain't got to do none of that. She figured it out. She figured it out. Protect her.
Yeah. She went from a 7 to a 10 in like 4 seconds. Like as soon as that clip started, so I said, "That Beyonce?" I said, "What?"
LaShawn said, "Truth be told, he probably cheating or cheated too."
See, no benefit.
That's like me and Jay with the pessimism. That's why I said I'm still a work in progress. I just came out of something. You know, I'm not always looking on the bright side with everything. I need to watch still.
Look. I'll just get into it for say, did he call and let you know he was going to be home late? Did he let you know the reason why he was going to roll up at 2 o'clock?
Was he on the phone with you half the time? I do that. I wrote home, talking to my lady.
Exactly.
Day,
I've written home after a comedy show. Yo, I'm leaving now. Put on speakerphone and then had a conversation about the show. Sometimes it went well. Sometimes
I'm pulling up in the driveway, right? All the way
in the driveway. Did he come home drunk at 2 a.m? How often does he come home at 2 o'clock in the morning?
Did he smell like perfume? Now he's gonna have him break up.
No, I'm just
check the collar
because I don't know how to joke. When I had a joke a long time ago, I said, "Man, we had it good. But we decided that we were gonna come home at 3 o'clock in the morning and get mad that dinner was cold because we couldn't. We were gonna literally get mad and say, "I can't believe dinner's cold." So you gotta ask some questions. Like I know that gets all types of likes and everything like that, but you gotta be reasonable as a man. What am I coming home at 2 o'clock in the morning for? And did we discuss it before I left?
Right. I got one more ratchet clip before we get into Dr. Smith. Does it matter who your partner dated prior, their activities prior? So this guy asked this young lady how many minutes she been with in one night, and he found out the truth, and then he had a problem with it.
Got with in one night before.
Like 10.
10?
Like 10.
You got with 10 guys in one night?
Well, it was before we dated, so it doesn't matter.
It does matter to me.
It doesn't matter.
No, I'm being serious. Like, when did you go with 10 guys in one night?
It was before we were dating, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
No, it matters to me that you got with 10 guys in one night. How long you guys been dating for? A year?
It was before we.
So he found out she had 10 guys in one night, and he's pissed about it, and it ended up turning into something. And she's saying, "But it was before we dated. You're bugging. Stop it. Chill." So does it matter if you're with someone and they was a smut prior to you, and you just found out after y'all was together?
I'm not that evolved.
What type?
It probably shouldn't matter, especially talking about being a work in progress. But the work in progress that I am, I'm not at that level yet where I could just, high five all the guys that knew you when we go to these events and everything. Oh, you were. I know you enjoying yourself. Nah, I'm not. I'm not the jolly good fellow that wants to get, It's your turn. I'm not him. I'm not him.
First of all, God, that was a little extreme. You were with 10 people in one night.
I'm hoping it was more of a skit or a stage. I'm hoping it was for content. I'm hoping they put that, because sometimes people do that. They put together little clips for content. But no.
I'm hoping she misinterpreted the question and didn't hear the one night. I hope she misinterpreted, like she was with 10 guys before.
You thought he said one life?
No, listen.
It doesn't matter when it was. Why are you getting angry? It's fine. No, it's not fine. Who the fuck is her? Who is she? I don't even know her anymore. Oh. 10 girls in one night? It doesn't matter when it was. You're just for the streets. She's for the streets. She's for the streets. Are you serious? Yeah.
I'm hoping it's staged.
I'm hoping it's staged because what made her think to even answer that honestly and say that?
Yeah. I don't see nobody really saying that.
My wife doesn't cook. I do. My wife doesn't cook. I do. My mom wanted my brother and I to learn how because she didn't want a woman to trap us like that with cooking. Some fall for that. Oh, she can cook. Mike, that is 100% a true statement. Men had it so good until they started disrespecting and taking advantage of women's kind hearts. Some women got mad, frustrated, angry, then distant, turned into men. That we ruined that.
So good girls going bad.
Yeah, they never come back. 10 guys and what? I don't know about that. I don't know. 10 sticks in a day is crazy.
Crazy work ass shit.
Yeah, what type of exercises do you do to handle that?
Speed dating.
Must be speed dating.
It must be speed. 10 in one night. Play Steve Harvey. I don't. Listen. I got one more.
The shoe was on the other foot. They be giving high fives. Nikki talking about the double standards. It's crazy how a man can do it. He can knock them down, and we all like, yeah, go ahead, homie.
Let me tell you something. If I did 10 women in one night, I'd be disgusted with myself the next day. Because you can't tell me you wore a condom with all 10 women.
And you can't tell me they was all dimes or
you can't tell me it was all
respectable.
Yeah. And you can't tell me you didn't have baby oil on you.
Oh shoot.
So the double standard. Maybe y'all see a double standard. If a dude told me he did that with 10 women in one night, I would not be high-fiving him. I'd be like, dog, you need to go to the doctors.
He got issues.
There's some trauma you're working through. There's some mental issues that you're working through to think that it was okay to sleep with 10 people in one night. Now, this is the last clip. This man was throwing a 40th birthday party by his wife. And he played into the whole thing. But he decided, and the first part is kind of hard to listen to before he grabs the mic. Now, when I saw this, was like, this is not a setup. I believe that this really happened. He decided to confront his wife in front of everybody. And I may have to stop because I want y'all to hear what he says when it's his turn. Why y'all trash the stage up like that
before the good doctor said, before he come on with the knowledge and the information? We got all the ratchet clips out there.
He human. He human. Y'all act like all he do is read books with big words. No, he scroll. I knew you asked a Diddy party. And the dude even get that 10 off. The right.
Yeah, he didn't finish it all 10 times. Even that part. So what are you doing? Trying to prove something? And just
that's a lot. So this man decides he's gonna confront his cheating wife, and I'm gonna just work with this, y'all. Just watch this whole thing. Real quick.
I want to say a couple things while I'm still sober. You know what I'm saying? First of all, thank you everybody for coming here. I mean, amazing. I mean, honestly, listen, guys. The love of the room is unbelievable right now. I just want to thank everybody for coming to celebrate with me. Speaking of the room, holy shit, damn. I mean, listen, I know you like spending money and partying, but it's over me. I'm only teasing. It looks amazing. Thank you so much. Listen, I'm sure my in-laws, my parents contributed as well. I just want to thank you guys. My in-laws, I see all of you. Seattle, AC, Jose, wherever you are. Listen, from day one, you guys have always shown me love, and
So he shouted out the in-laws and everybody.
I got love and appreciation for you guys. All that nice stuff being said, though, guys, you didn't get me. I do. I know. Listen. Right. So I did a good job. She almost had me. It was close. I'm an investigator. You can hide anything from me. I know everything. But because anybody party, because I know my wife, everyone here knows my wife, I figured it'd be pretty smart of me, even though it's my birthday, get her a little something, right? Well, happy wife, I got like bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You got something for me. Uh-oh. I'm really It's funny, the last time I did this, I was wearing this same shirt and my Uncle Sonny's cufflinks. Pretty ironic.
The setup is amazing.
He flipped it on you.
Flipped it on you, girl.
So the ring's coming off. The ring's coming off.
I was trying to be nice. I tried to.
Nah. Just this one. We'll go on to where is it? It's pretty. Well, it's beautiful. Pretty good for fireman, right? At that time, but.
Can I have it?
Yeah, I fucking know everything. That's right, bitch. I know everything. I had to see his skinny little pale thing. I wasn't impressed. I know about all the Plan B pills you had to take, you filthy fucking cunt. Fuck you. I fucking know, bitch. That's right. I fucking know everything. Don't act like you don't fucking know.
What are you talking about?
I fucking hate you. I never hate anyone like, but I fucking hate you. I hate you for what you did to me, the betrayal. I hate you for what you did to my children. The fuck, you know exactly who it is. You know exactly who it was.
What are you talking about?
Bitch, don't make me fucking show everybody. I know everything. Motherfucker, I know everything. I hate what you did to my children. The life you fucking stole from me. You know what you showed them? I'll show them everything. You sure you want that? I don't think you fucking do. You know who it is. No. Fuck you. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you. Hey, listen. Whoever here goes back, still backs this piece of shit after all that, get the fuck out.
I'm confused.
I don't think that one was staged at all.
I don't think that one was staged at all.
Extra.
I don't think that one was staged at all. Listen. So interesting how men can be so strong, but let someone part their ladies' cheeks, they lose it. Well, who doesn't? Who isn't that the vulnerable? Now, my whole thing is when I knew it was real is when he said to the crowd, whoever still wants to back this piece of shit, you can leave now.
That was a whole dramatic. It was over the top. He drug it all out. I guess that was part of his builder. That was just too much. Like the whole.
Oh, that's too much for somebody playing it on a show. When you're live, that is perfection. When you are live and you are there, and it goes from the emotion of people laughing, thinking he's playing.
Yeah, they still thought it was a skit, bitch. I fight you. They laughing.
And when he said, I can show everybody, and she walked away, you want me to show everybody?
As Clark said, she felt this pain.
I don't know. Is it worth that? I'm speaking regard. Revenge is a dish best served at a birthday party.
Yeah, action. And you don't do it. Do it when you got a crowd. You got a crowd. You got an audience.
Now's the time.
Now, watching Sinners and watching Dr. Aaron do his lecture on Sinners, everything that I watch now, I'm programmed to foreshadow. The foreshadowing in this video, which I wish I had to close caption, was he wasn't surprised by the birthday party. He said, "You didn't get me because I'm an investigator." He said, "I'm an investigator. If you want to find something out, you come to me." And that was the foreshadowing of I found out everything. I don't understand why people cheat. Just move along and do you individually. Well, let's ask everybody in the chat why we cheat.
Sometimes you got kids.
Mm-hmm.
That's one reason a lot of people like, I had a problem with you, but not my kids. But if I tried to move along, I'd have to see my kids less or change the dynamic with the children. Just like that, I mean, a lot of women stay for the same reason that they say, "Why would you stay?" And she's like, "Well, because of my family, not because of him."
There you go.
I have never cheated, Asha, and that's why there was something about you from your first comment, from your first. She said, "I've never cheated."
Can you believe that, Dr. Smith? A woman in their 40s or early 50s said they never ever cheated.
Well, yeah, like Miss Pat said she only had 3 dudes. I mean, some people ain't outside like that to even really be in the mix. And
look,
they're
you
not
think
attracting the type of people that even on that type of time. Not the norm, but it happens.
You think men don't pay attention? Coco just said the plan B that had to really hurt.
That whole plan Bs, right?
That whole long spiel, and Coke was like, "That plan B, all the plan Bs you had to take."
Mm-hmm.
LaShawn said, "I don't cheat." Well, LaShawn, you kind of
Well,
don't.
she tell everybody about each other, so I guess there's a difference. Hey, y'all on the roster, so ain't no cheating involved. Y'all all know the lineup. Y'all on it.
All right, Miss Clark says sometimes we cheat for a moment, no emotional attachment. All right, y'all.
So she admitted that she cheated, and it was emotional. Wow.
For sexual satisfaction. Is that what you're saying, Miss Clark?
No emotions. So women can be out there just smashing with no emotions attached. I guess the perception is women get emotionally attached. Miss Clark said, nope.
Asha said, "I will leave you before I cheat on you. No double dipping."
Okay, Asha.
Man, Jay don't believe you, but I'm giving you a round of applause. Jay got questions. Jay don't believe you. Said you said you didn't believe her.
No, I just asked Dr. Smith if he believed that a
Well,
woman.
stop asking other men something. You believe her? You believe her? You said you could be meaner. That's what the shirt says. You could be meaner.
Because what they do is they, in their mind, they discredit when they did cheat. They say that time didn't count, or technically we were going through something, or we wasn't together. They justify it, but it's still cheating. But they want to stand on that. A lot of women, not saying Asha, but a lot of women do that. They say that time.
Are we including emotional cheating?
Yeah, emotion. That didn't mean that I was going through something. They rule all that out.
It'd be a lot of lunches and texting when people sleeping. But okay, you ain't get clapped, but you still was totally disrespecting.
He was venting to this dude, and he was rubbing your scalp, telling you it was gonna be all right.
Rashida's another platinum package wife, and that's a compliment. Facts, Asha. Too much work to lie, and you don't have to. You ain't gotta lie, Craig. You ain't gotta lie. Just like all men don't cheat. See, I just said all men don't. I don't cheat.
Black men
trying to be funny.
I heard that term before. Black men don't cheat.
He should have brought receipts. Well, I think he had them in his phone, Stacy, and he was about to show it. I think he had pictures and text messages in the phone. Men versus women. Exactly. All my little friends know about each other. It's a choice, and I'm not sleeping with them. Any of them. Wait a second. That's breaking news. Wait a second. Jay Black says you need more people because he don't believe you. No, leave that right there. Jay, what you don't believe that LaShawn's not sleeping with any of them?
Every person has needs. If we want to believe that she's meeting and dating all these different individuals and not getting her needs met with a physical human, not the roles and all that, come on. No, I don't believe her. She just want to save face on the show. But she has at least one of them that she know that's her go-to. Please stop.
The shirt don't lie. The shirt don't lie, Mike. Jay Black shirt don't lie. Well, she said she wasn't sleeping. She ain't say, afterwards you just go ahead and get about your business, You ain't gotta sleep with them.
Put her joint back on. Put LaShawn, because LaShawn, I don't want you misinterpreted. I don't want you mistranslated. I don't want it misconstrued. Exactly. All my little friends know about each other. It's a choice. LOL. And I'm not sleeping with them. Any cap of them. Jay says he don't believe it.
And I like how Mike ain't leave his opinion in there yet. All right, let's try to get to these other comments.
I don't understand why she'd have a reason to lie to us. That's why I was.
People have perceptions and they want to be presented in certain ways. I know, like Nikki is very honest. She'll say, "Yeah, I was out there, I was smutting it up," You know, like some people be truthful with their past, and others want to, you know, try to
clean up the image.
Well,
Yeah.
that's amazing. So somebody's only truthful if they say they did some dirt, but if somebody says they didn't do it, then they're covering up their image. So the only one you'll believe is the person who says they were doing stuff.
I deal with common sense, and LaShawn has been here long enough. We've been listening to her comments. I got a pretty good idea of who she is, and I think that she has. I'm not saying she's smashing all of them. She has one. She has one, at least one go-to that she, you know, classifies what that we used to date. So it's okay to double back with her because we done already been together. Go ahead,
Well,
Doctor.
she did say, Jay. She said her little friends. She might also have a big friend. That's
Facts on emotional
she
cheating.
categorized it. She specified my little friends know about each other, but none of them Negroes know about my big friend because he stay over. You know, after I'm finished dating the little friends, I call the big friend over. You know how it works. You know, one guy's the simp, and he spends all the money and takes you somewhere. Then at 2 a.m, the other dude hits her up. You know, you up text. You know, he comes. And a big friend.
Go to the comment before that. Go to the comment about the emotional cheating. That's right. The other one, emotional cheating, facts. Emotional cheating on facts. They said facts. Emotional cheating is cheating. Listen, call me crazy, y'all. Call me crazy. The one time I did cheat was a get back. Okay, you got your lick back. Pause.
So she justified it in her mind. I had to get him back. I had to let him know how I feel. Know what time it is.
I don't think all men cheat. The emotional cheating. This may just be me, but sex is just a nasty physical act that will hurt your feelings that somebody took part in. For some reason, the emotional cheating hurts me, will get under my skin even more. The thought that y'all were chilling on a couch watching Netflix and you were laying on his chest actually bothers me more. Might sound crazy. It actually bothers me more.
Because you're building a deeper connection with the person. Sometimes sex can just be in and out. But you building and y'all pillow talking, y'all sharing stories, y'all bonding, y'all sharing straws, your popcorn at the movies. You're building something different, emotional connection.
I felt that way. I felt the straw. I don't know why. I just felt the one straw in the cup and they just passing it. I was like, hey, I want to smack the cup. I just had a vision of you walking in the aisle in the theater, just finding them in the dark and smacking the cup and walking out. We done. Boom. Soda everywhere.
LaShawn, in the famous term that has become famous on the Takeover Legend show, is double down. She said no sex. No, she said
but she put the rose. I guess she's saying she has her sexual toys and they can go get theirs elsewhere. But she knows that they're out there doing their thing because she said if she ain't doing it with some of them, that hey, she realized that they got to get their needs met too. So I get that she acknowledged that.
LaShawn, we're about to get into the segment, but if you want that link sent to you, you can always join. You can always join because Jay don't believe it. Right. If I need to cheat, I didn't need to be with you. River Bay. All right.
Okay. All right.
That's common sense. Sometimes you can't argue that. You want your cake and eat it too with a sandwich and hamburgers and French fries. And that's because she's not. Most of you males never valued your body. That's why you think people can just have platonic friends. You brag about being a hoe.
No, Ms. Clark said earlier, it's different. Emotional sex is different. So you can have women can have sex and not be emotionally attached. Y'all can do that, TP. Don't act like y'all don't.
Jay Black, play my friends don't like your
my friends, your funny video. Dr. Smith is funny.
Right, Aaron. I like that big friend. Okay, all right. I got CPAP machines at every chick's crib. I had.
Shut up. He got a CPAP. He got sleep apnea.
Nope, that's not crazy. The emotional cheating is extremely devastating. Well, both of them are. The other one just bothers me more. The other one bothers me. If I go through your text messages and it's straight raunchy text messages back and forth, that's gonna light me on fire. But if I see text messages you about jokes that y'all sharing and LOLs and hearts and all types, that's not gonna light me on fire. That's gonna destroy me. That's the breakdown.
And again, we talking about you, Mike. That's the other part. If they were just having sex, they could be having sex. You know, if they sitting there chilling and talking all night, you know you're the topic of conversation probably half the time, and it's not positive.
And then when you see the timestamps, when you're not there, then you're reviewing on where you were at. You were at this comedy show. You were hosting this club simultaneously.
You was doing something for her family or friends. You was doing something for her.
You were moving somebody.
Ooh, couch all on your chest. Talking about twist it again, turn it again.
We're not
Put down for a second.
Put it down. Put it down. I know how to get through the door. This is you. I know how to get through the door. What we got to do is 90-degree angle, and we can make this happen right there.
And the dude at the top act like he got the same burden as you.
Yeah.
You on the bottom, and then when they put it down, he stand at the top looking at you like, yeah.
Let's do it again.
Bring it back down a little bit, and then we're gonna try to twist it. Like, bruh, I'm hurt.
Well, LaShawn, we got some dilemmas, but we got to get into Aaron Smith. Yeah, my wonderful ex cheated, and then they would discuss me. Like, what? The pain hits different.
So she saw the messages.
And you know they ain't telling the truth. You know it's a real lopsided, twisted story. It'd be different if they was being accountable. You know, while they sitting there crying, playing victim, they ain't saying, well, you know, I did this first. That ain't the way the story gets told. It's just you the monster, you the worst thing in the world, and you terrible, and they just need comfort.
Oh,
nigga, please.
I'm telling you right now, I know. I never caught anybody cheating on me, but I know they did. But I never caught anybody cheating on me because I was cheating.
I probably would have got locked up.
So what they had to admit to you for you to know it was true?
I'm telling you, I never went through somebody's phone.
Really?
I never did either.
Stop it, Mike. Stop.
Yeah, I never went through my phone. I'm good on that.
Stop. Mike, stop.
Y'all got to understand something. To this point, I've never been. Oh, I ain't going to get to it. I've never gone through somebody's phone.
And we came up before smartphones, though, Mike. Like, I think the era we came up in changed everything. Because by the time that really became a thing, I was grown. Like, when people had Nokias with Snake on it, it wasn't no going through a phone like that. It was, you know, they wasn't texting until like 2000 something. Like, I was dating in the 90s. That just.
Cypher's still mad that you came at him last week over the cop stuff. So he said you smashing your Temple students. That's what he's trying to say.
Oh, stop. I think he ain't say that. Yeah, I got Temple hats. What he said?
I don't know, but that was his lick back. He got his lick back. But go ahead.
I thought it was a Temple hats.
I'm telling you, Cypher has a problem with the show.
No, he does. He definitely has it with Dr. Smith.
No, he got a problem anytime we talk about anything that people who happen not to be white are going through. And he in his mind, and I'm speaking for you, Coke, because you can speak for yourself, but you've chosen not to. And I'm gonna leave it at this. You do have a problem with our views on race relations in this country. Is that fair?
But he has his issues. But like the doctor said last week, it's the systemic problem. It's deeper. We got to get to the root. Like he said, Coco is worrying about all the limbs of the tree. But what Dr. Smith is saying, we need to focus on the roots, because you keep knocking the limbs down, they're going to keep growing. So I understood their debate, but I'm rocking with the doctor on it because it's deeper. So you worry about this individual limb. No, let's get to fix the root. Let's focus there. That was my takeaway from last week.
But I guess, and I'll speak for you again, Coke. I guess the fact of the matter is that you see the limbs falling every day. So it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier for somebody who goes home to a family like me, like Jay, and gets to chill when your job is to see the limbs falling every day. But once again, if you gonna say
you see the worst of humankind on the front lines,
like the Uber driver. The white lady Uber driver who the black guy put the gun to her head and killed her, and they got the whole video of her negotiating for her life, and he got life in jail. Now
people saying I got kids and everything.
She's saying like that broke my heart. She really is like trying to negotiate. She's pushing the gun like, yo, you got to make it right. Don't make this anywhere. And come to find out, he kills her. Hey, did Lisa, but he's never looked through a phone. He did Lisa.
I guess Lisa said something else. Mike, did you say
you should have passwords of the? Yeah, I believe there's no problem with you having my password.
Yeah.
I listen. I'm not the person I used to be. There's nothing on here. Good morning.
Well, even when I had stuff on my phone, that's like you looking into my brain. Because I could have had the most random thought. It could have been a pop-up that popped up on and I pressed it. Like there's so many things that could be in my phone and in my history. It has nothing to do with you or me or anything. If you just want to think, if you looked at my brain and thought, look at all the thoughts I thought, you'd be like, oh, you thought that? Yeah, for a minute, I don't know. I thought it. So what? Like, what does that mean? But looking through somebody's phone, that's what you're doing. Like any type of thing they might have just thought or entertained or looked at for a moment. If you really want to look at that, I wouldn't want to look at it. But if you feel like, then hey, have at it. Because when the ex-girlfriend pops up on the thing and I just look to see, how bad she's doing because I want to laugh at her new man, that might have been why I clicked it. But if you just see in the history, I clicked on her page, you might get upset. I might have just been hating and been petty and, you know, wanting to like a picture of something that, you know, when she got left by the new guy. I don't know. Like you don't know what I was thinking or why it was done. So I don't know. There's no context to that with the looking through the phone, you know, or somebody might have had a lustful moment that they didn't act on. And they might have looked at some pictures or said, I don't know. Like, as long as I'm not
a phone is really a damn diary without you officially calling it a diary. I never checked it with anybody, and somebody made a comment because you didn't want nobody to check I had a whole joke about not wanting somebody to check my phone. Me either, Mike. You can have my password. I'm just telling you, I didn't care to that. Listen, we got to get to Doctor what he would like to talk about.
True.
I just want to tell you, I was such a dysfunctional person that I cared about you cheating and didn't care about you cheating at the same time. Like my ego and my feelings would get hurt, but I was so doing my own thing that I wasn't going to waste time trying to check your shit. Because I believe that I was in a real negative way. I believed I was deprived. So if you dumb enough to cheat on me, and I'm not proud of this, then you dumb enough because this ship is sailing with or without you. Now that wasn't a good way to think. It's a good way to think that you're the prize, but it wasn't a good way on how I thought. The reason why I was light-skinned man. No, it's just the man behavior. I'm not checking. If you dumb enough to cheat on me, go ahead.
Your lost type energy, right?
Yeah, it was like, oh, I mean, what you want? I'm popping in these streets. As juvenile as that is, I'm popping in these streets, and you know I'm popping. Your friends who are trying to encourage you to cheat know I'm popping.
What Kanye say? There's 1,000 you. There's only one of me.
Yeah. Nah, I'm looking through the text messages and WhatsApp. I don't give a fuck what pictures you liked on SM. Okay, all right.
You gonna see what you're gonna see. I don't know.
And to me, if y'all ain't sharing, listen, that's just me. That's it. Like you can have
Mike's
my password.
adorable. Oh God.
Mike's adorable. What you want? Jay knew it. All eyes on me.
They knew what?
Jay knew I was popping in the street.
Dr. Smith was with us. What are you talking about? Jay knew. What are you talking about? Me? Jay knew.
I was rubbing girls' cheeks, you know, like I was on a prom date in the VIP of Babylon, man.
We getting leftovers. You getting the leftovers?
Hey, trickle down was crazy, man. You know, that was crazy.
You know? Mike's taking. Well, look who we got left. We got Jay. We got Fearless. We got Sexy Mo for the fellas or women. Like who? Ryan Banks over here. Y'all stupid.
They got wing women out there, you know. Sometimes they be just popping at the main show. Sometimes
I ain't the captain of the ship. What is? I ain't the captain of the boat. When I'm on the, captain of the shop. Yeah. When I'm on the boat.
Yeah.
I don't know. And it was a sick situation because I missed out on a lot of opportunities and I missed out on a relationship and stuff like that. But when I say I wasn't checking people's cell phone, it's not to give me props. If I have to tell y'all why I wasn't checking, because I was busy being a demon.
I just had a flashback, Mike. I mean, we don't have to name the young lady, but you might remember. Do you remember that really nice young lady that was really supportive of us, that ran around with us for like 3 months, and she used to cook the food and bring it up in the full tins and feed everybody after the show? I don't, you know, but I just remember there was one young lady that was everything. What's the sister said? What's this name? The one that Ash? There was a sister that was so respectable.
Absolutely.
And she was just a good woman, and everybody knew it right away. It wasn't an act. And she was like, I guess, holding on to hope that we might be good people at some point, and we was going to evolve. She was actually willing to grow with us and work with us as a group because she thought that you know, I guess Mike's influences played a major role, which was true. And she would feed us all. Like I remember she had a tin a couple times. She would just bring the food, and we would eat before we went to the club. And when you said that about just missing out on good people, I was like, yeah, Mike had a couple too. Because I mean, I know I did in my life, but I remember seeing there was some good women.
Good-hearted women.
Oh man, they was good people. Drove all the way to the station. We was way out with food for 3-4 people.
One time brought an iron because my shirt was wrinkled.
I remember her.
But and so I'm not trying to flex that I didn't check the cell phones. It was because of my demon activities. That it wasn't, you know, it wasn't a flex on that. All right,
we talking about cooking. We had women that could cook and stood by us
Amazingly
and was
cooked.
willing to do. We just didn't pay attention to them.
And that food wasn't
Guilty.
regular good. It wasn't
Guilty.
regular good. Guilty right here.
Guilty.
I'll have to come on the show to explain. C Chung was the only one annoying me. That's not what you. C Chung was the only one annoying you? Oh, okay.
So we'll pick a day. Maybe next Friday, Cypher, whatever, with the good doctor, or it could be another day. We can bring him on Tuesday. And
Not C Chung. Who's C Chung?
No, it was Mike. You remember C Chung from Jersey?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying they could.
Oh yeah.
They are women that will go out if they're away for their man. Yes, they were.
They are out there. They exist, and yeah.
And you're so busy with your mind in the streets and feeling your ego and filling up your checklist on what you've been taught on how a man's supposed to act. Look, I told you we were deceived. Life would be a lot easier if we weren't told and shown a lot of these images on what it is and how you're supposed to be and what represents your character. I always try and do things now where I think of what is your character if you do this? What are you saying about yourself if you do this? And I've made mistakes, and afterwards I've been like, why did I do that?
The person that put the food up, did Mike smash? Did somebody smash? I'm trying to remember.
She just wanted Mike.
Somebody had to, right? I would think.
We're not gonna get into all that.
I'm about to say I'm trying to remember who the person is because my memory.
She used to have like lace sleeves and all that. Like she was like a woman. Like she was refined. She spoke well. She was polite and she cooked and like.
Somebody was with her. Somebody. Ain't no way somebody. All right, but anyway, all right. I got. That was back then. I digress.
Yo, you want to hear something funny though, Mike?
What?
You talked about Sinners lecture in the movie Sinners. You saw the movie, Jack? You see the movie?
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple scenes where they refer to the woman's anatomy as my coup, right? And then Mary says, in my coup, and they refer to the woman's special parts as the coup. And I laughed this morning because I said Mike didn't even know how he was tapping into the ancestors when we would weekly have a gynecologist on the show, and we called him Dr. Coup de Puff.
Dr. Coup de Puff.
Wow. And we just the name just came up, right? And we didn't even know we was tapping into some ancestral stuff. And we all laughed and kept calling him that. We called him Dr. Coup de Puff, and the movie Sinners say, "Oh, you stuck in my coup, right?" And I'm like, "Oh wow, we was on it. That's how the world we worked. That's how we tapped in with the downloads because we literally called him Dr. Coup de Puff, and he was a gynecologist.
You got a good memory.
Yo, you got that memory right there. That yeah.
Remember he was going overseas and doing tours, as a military, the person and doing, helping them and all that. He had an interesting life.
We never.
He liked being a cool kid. We let him be a cool kid.
We let him be a cool kid. He was a doctor.
That was a dream come true, though.
And he wanted to be with us. Like
he had been to Iraq. He had been in the doctor's office, but he wanted to be in the club.
He wanted to be in the club.
We let him live his dream, his high school dream. We gave him that. We said, "Come on out with us." Remember, he was a star. Remember, people were like, "Where's Dr. Coup de Puff?" He was asking us asking for him.
Gave him a nickname, Coup de Puff. Yeah.
Yo, he came up with a young girl one time. Remember, he brought like a guest up. He had fans and stuff.
He had fans. He
brought a couple girls up a couple times. I was like, okay, Coup de Puff.
All right, so I played Do an Ancestry show and have Fearless break down some stuff. Well, I want you to break down this video. There's a brilliant woman. You know about the lady who has the GoFundMe. It's not called the GoFundMe. Something else. After she called
Ghost and something, yeah.
I just want to see, and because I realized, because I don't think some people were impressed by her brilliance, but I realized social media is impressed by her brilliance. This young black woman actually is trying to take down not the lady, but trying to take down the company who is trying to do the funding. So I'm gonna let you see this.
Get to the root, like Jay said.
To the root. And I'm gonna let you watch and tell me your comments just on the whole situation and your views on it. Here it is right here.
Mad about that Shiloh woman profiting off of calling that young black child the N-word. Watch this video and I'll be right back.
I started searching and trying to figure out how can I find this funding source.
This is absolutely amazing, and we got to make sure to blow this creator up. So as we all know, Shiloh Hendrix has raised over $650,000, on her way to $1 million. Give, Sin, Go, doesn't really care. People have tried to report it, doesn't matter. But this creator used her coding skills to dig into the HTML and JavaScript.
They are not the bank. So I thought, we got to find a bank. Most banks, especially payment processors, they will cut that shit off with any type of doubt or controversy. They'll usually just cut it off, right? I went and I broke down the code on GiveSendGo's checkout page line for line, and there were keywords I wanted to look for, right? And I found the keyword Block Inc., right? That's familiar, right?
And Block Inc. owns Square, which has very big policies against hate-filled and discriminatory fundraising. So Keandria, I hope I'm saying that right, launched a coordinated campaign to flood with complaints, crashing the support bot of Block Inc. and dropping the stock over 24.5% after it crashed. Coders started volunteering to join in and monitor the actual processing, and what you saw is they tried to switch it over to Stripe. She's urging people to file complaints with the FTC and the CFPB. It's only going to help increase the chance of a paper trail and holding platforms like this accountable. Also, side note, she does mention that she is receiving death threats, but to go ahead and tag her in this information. So if you are a white creator particularly, tag the original creator. You can file a complaint with Square or Block, you can email Square directly, you can report to the federal agencies, and then obviously file and tag the original creator that had this idea. And if you're wondering what the end goal is here, I'll let her finish it out.
I'll tell you about this payment processor and their so-called policy. Now, Square and Block Inc. have a policy that details that not only do they have the right to pause your payouts, but they have a right to hold the funds indefinitely. If they find that you violated their policy or if they stop payment for any reason, they have the right to hold that money to protect them from disputes. So we're hoping that they hold the payout and those assholes never get refunded.
So maybe I was alone. I thought it was brilliant. I thought the fact that she took the time out to actually break this down and go to the root, as you've told us before, go to the root of where this money, you can't stop people from supporting. You can't. You can't stop racists from supporting racists. You can't stop Puerto Ricans from supporting Puerto Ricans. You can't stop people from supporting people. But you can make it difficult for the money transaction to actually happen. What are your thoughts on what she's done and the actual incident?
That was an emotional video for me. You know, I don't know if I've ever seen that level of sophistication in terms of strategy in real time. You know, not like after people went into the streets and martial law and got beat up or burned a building or got misdirected or, you know, got played on by their emotional impulses. You know, she didn't seem like she was overly emotional. She was very strategic and rational and patient and bold, right? Getting death threats and still saying tag me, that was an emotional video for me. That's what I argue with people all the time, not just on this platform. That's what I would love to see us do. Recently with the Tyree Nichols, you see they tried to, you know, let the black cops who beat them to death go free. They're trying to provoke you. They are trying to get you out in the streets. They are trying to get you impulsive and emotional. They don't want your frontal lobe to be activated so you could be rational and be making these decisions. They want the amygdala and the whole fight or flight thing going on all the time with black people so we could just spin in circles emotionally and be used up for our resources and our energy and not make real lasting impacts in terms of systems and structures and just get mad at individuals. That's why they keep throwing Trump in our face all day while they try to badmouth Ibrahim Traore from Burkina Faso like they did Gaddafi and set him up to be assassinated because he's causing a whole revolution on the African continent and trying to take control of their natural resources again. They don't want us looking at any of that kind of stuff. They don't want us looking at these campaigns. They don't want us looking at, you know, what's going on internationally. They just want us to have a boogeyman and a bully and a target to put all our impulses and emotions and all our disdain that doesn't really change policy or systems or change history. And they want to use Donald Trump. They want to blame Donald Trump, but at the same time, wave him in our face so that we can stay upset and stay distracted and stay paralyzed in terms of a systems analysis. Who supports Donald Trump? Who voted for Donald Trump? Who funds Donald Trump? Who's Donald Trump in business with? What type of climate was created? What kind of culture gave birth to a Donald Trump, supported a Donald Trump, and allowed Donald Trump to have 30-something felonies but still be the president, right? We need to talk about all these kind of things, but this sister didn't think about any of the distractions. And I don't know what her relationship status is, but as a people, right, like we talked about today, a lot of times people got to focus on themselves and what they can do in their purpose and do more attracting than chasing. Because I promise you, there's somebody watched that video that said, I need a sister like that. All you got to do is walk in your purpose and do you. She didn't have to be twerking. She didn't have to be charging private story cash apps. She did what she was able to do. And of course, somebody's going to see that and be like, that's the kind of sister I need by my side.
Woo.
also sliding into you.
That is and Aaron, Dr. Aaron Smith. The first thing I thought was that is the woman in my 20s, in my 30s, that I would have fumbled the ball.
Focus, soldier.
Just
focus. Soldier. Just a Coretta, the Betty Shabazz type energy. Like even when they try to come for you, I'm here with you. We both going downstairs when we hear a noise in the nighttime. I'm gonna cover you. I got your 20. I'm at your 6.
I hate to make it basic skills, but just imagine if she's cracking codes and finding keywords. Just imagine what she's finding, the interest rate she's finding on a mortgage for you and her when you guys are trying to, or the interest rate she's getting on a refinance. Like I was so stunned and impressed by that young woman.
But you got to be careful, Mike, because if she checks your phone, she gonna find everything.
Oh, she's cracking every code. She cracking every code. She cracking every code. She cracking every
code. You deleted everything. She's like, well, I saw keywords in the program. You said, oh, dang, okay, I got the
pattern.
Can't cheat with that one. If you get out, you gotta stop playing.
That's the one that you give the cell phone to when you get home.
You come home and the phone is broken up in pieces. She got the motherboard out, and you're in trouble. She got it plugged into a hard drive. She said, "Oh, you thought you got away with it?
Just because you hit delete, you thought it was over."
She got some special glasses, right? And you go. She's in the room. She got these special glasses. She's looking in the sky, and you're like, "Baby, what you doing? Looking in your cloud? Looking at my cloud."
She moving her hand like this. I thought that was your mother. Your mother got OnlyFans. Is that your mother?
You mentioned the Tyree thing, and them getting off on the state level.
Yeah.
The state level, they got acquitted. And I noticed it was all black cops that killed the black man. How do you, when it's black on black and it's the cops? Because I guess the blue supersedes the black, right? Like, I don't know. What was your overall thoughts on that whole Tyree Nichols and them getting off? Well, they got off on the state level, rather.
Yeah, and they might end up doing some time. But again, like I always say, it's more about the root. But you knew something was wrong because normally the difference is the black officer. Noor, that was his name, Muhammad. Muhammad Noor was the man. Remember, he rolled up on that white chick and he killed her. They locked his ass up. The black cop that the same thing white cops do every day. Fear for my life, blah, blah, blah. It was all on the news. It was like 2019. Muhammad Noor, he was an officer and he was, I guess he was immigrant, but he was black presenting, right? And he killed this white woman, this blonde white woman, right? And he thought, I'm a cop. And they was like, no, you're black. So normally when these things happen, they still take an opportunity. You got rid of the black guy by killing him. We'll get rid of you by, taking your badges and putting you in jail. So we see something different under this Trump administration where they're trying to use this. And they're like, we said we were going to get Derek Chauvin out. Black people didn't care. We said that we were going to not celebrate Black history and take the Rosa Parks and Dr. King books. They didn't jump out in the streets. We said we're going to remove the Black Lives Matter Plaza, with Mosby and all that. Like everything they trying to do to poke us, to get us to, we not responding. They said, oh, we got one here. Them black cops that beat that, let them out. Let's get a Rodney King thing going with black cops. That'll do it. Black people are still, like my sister, strategizing. We're not jumping out the window and going with our first impulse, like we said last week, like we work with young people. Oh, yes, we know what you're feeling. We're going to identify the feeling, be aware of it, because even in counseling and psychology, they say if you're aware of the feeling, you're already moving from that back of your brain to the front of your brain. Instead of you just responding to the feeling and suppressing the feeling or being led by the feeling, you evaluating the feeling takes you from a point of impulse to rationality. And right now we're like, wow, we've been here before. What's this about? This is crazy. Even having that kind of response is an elevated strategy as opposed to, you see what they did? I'm going out. No, never again. No disrespect to Dr. King, no disrespect to anybody that marches. But what marching has become, it's been so co-opted and it's so manipulated and it's been such an aesthetic thing and Black Lives Matter buying mansions near white people with the money. Like we have to do something different. And I love seeing my people doing something different. Even with this, I saw a lot of people pushing for the federal, accountability. I saw a lot of people demonstrating, right? I saw people demonstrating. They're planning rallies to bring awareness because it was a long time ago and people need to know. But all of that, just breaking windows in the middle of the night and getting shot and allowing Donald Trump. Donald Trump was talking about martial law just the other day. He said the black community wants it. The black community wants more accountability, and we're going to take over. Black people got on Twitter and TikTok so fast and was like, no, thank you. We don't want anything from you. We don't need tanks in the street. Because I don't think people realize that, martial law literally means the military can act like a police force. Because for a little while when the riots were there, they had some, troops, and stuff in Philly, sort of outside in full uniform. That would be full time. Like it would be an occupying force, and it would be like military bases, and you would see people in full fatigues with AR-15s, like you do in other, countries. And black people are like, no, we're fine being left alone. Y'all out here acting crazy. You got Pakistan, you got India, you got Ukraine, you got Russia, you got Gaza, you got Israel. Guess what's happening in North Philly? We chilling. This is one of the calmest times Black America's ever had. And now it's unrest in terms of economics. It's political unrest and uncertainty. There's drama and strain when it comes to how we're going to pay our bills. But in terms of us being the target, we are not the public enemy number one right now. And a lot of Black people are able to take a breath and think and do boycotts and strategy and find codes and work with each other and support each other in ways that we haven't been able to in the last 20 years. And we don't need no tanks or no troops to help us right now at all. We need to be left alone.
So I have a question, because everything you said that, and for the most part, I agree with. And I think the sitting back and thinking is a key thing of not having, like you said, the emotional reaction and trying to strategize. I want to have this question is for us in the room. Do you feel like, forget the strategy and forget the climate, do you feel like we were as upset at these 3 black cops for killing a black man as we should have been, just amongst us in the barbershop? Or do you think we gave it we kind of did a white people thing? We let it go and say, yeah, that was bad, and then kept it moving.
I think we were hurt. I think it's a different emotion. Like when I watch these black men beat this black man to death, it confirmed what a lot of us have been saying in terms of the blue over the black and all that. We've been saying that for a long time. Shout out to all the black cops. I know we got people watching all that, but we've been telling y'all for a long time. We know you protect your partner. You're not, you can go in there. You're not thinking in terms of being a black person. You go in there and thinking in terms of you and your partner being on the force. Like, let's be clear. We're not dumb. We see it. We receive it in the forms of beatings and watching your allegiance. But a lot of people try to deceive themselves and be like, oh no, I'm still no. So part of it was confirmation. Like, do you see what we mean? It's a system. It doesn't matter what individual, because even if you remove all the white people, if you have this system that prioritizes some lives over others, and you have this illusion of power, because there's been experiments done, like that prison guard experiment where they let regular people pretend to be prison guards, and within a few moments they started acting like prison guards and dehumanizing the people who are playing the role of prisoners, which just goes to show you, like the blue-eyed, brown-eyed experiment with Jane Elliott, if you set up a system where some people are said to be better, there's certain byproducts of that kind of hierarchy and that type of inequity. So once you see that these people can do what they want and have qualified immunity, and they can kill people and not even do a day in jail, you're creating through that system a culture and a climate where the race of the person in charge is less important than you think. That's why I said there's been African nations that expelled their colonizers and maintained the hierarchy of power, where black people just took the position of the white people when they left. That's why you got to dismantle the systems, because as long as you have policing in America, playing the role of policing in America, you're going to hear more names like was it Guzman and all that, right? And you're like, wait a minute, that sounds like yes, he's a cop though, right? So whether it's Johnson and Jackson, whether it's Reyes and Guzman, you hearing all these names and you're like, well, how can that happen? Because you don't have a systems analysis, and you're looking for a white person instead of understanding a system of white supremacy, which can co-opt people who aren't considered white or have an affinity or proximity to whiteness. That's why you got women that are perpetuating sexism and black people perpetuating racism. It's not simply about the race. It's about the system that values certain people. And if you want to deny yours or turn against yours, then you might be welcome to as a traitor.
That interesting. Jay, I want to ask you, do you feel that you weren't as George Floyd? Do you feel you were more angry at George Floyd than you were than these 3 or 4 black men killing 3 black officers killing a black man? Were you more angry at the George Floyd situation? Because I'm asking. Let me just ask.
Which one? Well, George Floyd is the one that got the national attention, and obviously you see a man struggling to breathe with somebody with their knee on their neck. That's different. and it started. So you saying, do I feel like that was more powerful than, I mean, one
No,
life or
you
another? What do you mean?
personally. I don't want to get
The
the
George
whole.
Floyd one stood out more because it was the time frame of him trying to breathe for 3 minutes. The other one was bad as well. I mean, he's running out, they grabbing him, gripping up, fighting him, beating him down, Rodney King style. They both was bad. But if I'm putting myself in that situation, I couldn't imagine for 3 minutes trying to fight for my breath to breathe with somebody knee on my neck. So that would be a little more worse for me.
So which one made you more angry?
I would say George Floyd. That was more angry because I put myself in that situation. And I'm picturing myself laying on the ground with a knee on my neck saying, yo, I can't breathe. I'm really dying here. And you just outright murdering me in cold blood.
There's another key point, though, in terms of systemics that needs to be acknowledged. It's just like when black people in the hood commit a murder versus police officers. The major difference is the response of the system. Those black officers did what they did on January 8th. They were charged and arrested by January 26th. If you remember, it took 44 days for them to even arrest George Zimmerman. So the reason why people are always upset is when the black people do it, we know the system's going to run its course. We never thought these black people weren't going to get arrested. They got arrested. They got charged. But when the white person does it, they don't get arrested. They don't get charged until we take to the streets. That's the difference. They like, when Pookie kills somebody, y'all don't say nothing. Pookie's doing life. So there's nothing to say. There's nothing to say when the drug dealer does it because the drug dealers go to jail every day. There's something to say and something to feel and something to be mad about when the cops do it because the cops keep walking. And people need to acknowledge the difference, the systemic difference in the way that these tragedies are responded to. Because if those cops were allowed to just get their gun back like Zimmerman did that night and go home for 40, yeah, we might have had to take to the streets just to get them to do what they're supposed to do when somebody gets killed.
What was Coco's comment? Well, because I didn't get it. Officer Shrugs was almost 18 years on and is not going to beat anyone and have blue over anything unjustified. I don't know what that means.
Well, he is Scruggs. That's his real good
Oh,
name.
Officer Scruggs. Oh, that's his last name.
Yeah, that's
Officer Scruggs with almost 18 years on is not going to beat anyone and have blue over anything unjustified. Okay.
Well, be careful because you know that a year ago there was an officer who was a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Shout out to the Qs. Who came forward, a retired officer came forward about the Tyree Nichols incident, and he was later found dead. So if you want to talk, let's talk. Let's talk about how them cops don't cover for each other when they tell the truth. Let's talk about how them cops have a lot of people coming up dead when they speak out against the department, even when they're retired. So just be careful. I believe that you already have that integrity, but I know that you know better than me that when you do speak truth and cross that blue line, black line, whatever it is, there was a cop a year ago that spoke out against the police force out there about Tyree Nichols. He was later found dead in his driveway. And that's not the first time that's happened. Individuals, you might, but the institution and the system and the history, be careful, bro.
So when we talk about the policing, listen, there's so many things that I just sit around. I think human beings have decided that prison should be a hellhole for people who have done crimes to go in there, and we see the inside of prisons. And there are a lot of people who are very upset that in different countries, prisons are really for reform. And the first thing people say is, how do you put these people in a country club? And so I don't understand how we think we're going to reform people if we take the people who have made mistakes and put them in hell and then bring them out and then think that things are going to change. But hey, I realize that prisons are a system of business and of profit. So they want repeat customers just like Chick-fil-A. Just like Chick-fil-A is super nice to you because they want you to buy another chicken sandwich, and are super polite is the same way. Hey, let's make sure that we into worse criminals by the time they leave. And people who have been through trauma, make them go through 15 years of more trauma or 6 years of more trauma, then send them back out because we know we'll get a repeat customer. I'm going to show you this clip. Coco, I heard about that. I heard about that also, but I would have to know the totality of the circumstances of the man coming up dead.
He think it may have been something legit, doctor. Yeah, maybe he had a heart attack.
Happens a lot, though. There's a lot of officers that have had a lot of whistleblower cases about not receiving protection, getting death threats, and everything else, finding dead rats and getting fired for telling the truth about, Or you saw the one where the black lady stopped the cop from abusing the guy, and they what's it? Dorner, Chris Dorner, the guy that snapped and went crazy. Remember him? The black guy that was the asymmetrical warfare that ended up trying to take the lives of the cop. He went and defended a handicapped person that was being abused. He went against his partner for kicking this handicapped person and all this other stuff. They set him up and he lost his job and they made him the yes. And then he said, okay, y'all gonna play with me for being truthful and honoring my oath and the Constitution. I'm gonna come at y'all and y'all can get this smoke. He started killing people. So we got many instances where people try to so-called do the right thing and not be a bad apple. And then they get fired, assaulted, killed, or Chris Dorner had the house blown up by a robot supposedly and burned to death. Like, so it don't matter it don't matter what happened in that one case. I'm talking about a system, a long history of police officers trying to tell the truth and paying consequences for it that could even be fatal.
All right, so we do you have another question, Jay?
Nope.
So we have a clip that we played yesterday. So I like getting your opinion on certain clips that we play. This is a clip, if I can find it. This is a clip of a mother coming home, and after taking her cell phone from her son, this is what the house looked like. And I'm going to play the video, and I'm going to ask you what you would do in this scenario, or what would be your response in this scenario if you came home and this is what your son did from taking a cell phone.
Oh God, you have a truth?
All right, so that was the ramifications of taking the cell from the child. As a parent, we're gonna get to that Mark Lamont clip. If Jay, you can get that because you had it. What would be your response to that? How would you handle that?
I mean, you got to go. Definitely got to go. I mean, even just for me, I don't want to get locked up, because back in the day, they'd be like, you need to go because if you stay, I'm going to do something, right? So there's a case I was just looking at where the parents allowed the child to go to prison. I think like 14, pretty popular case. But in the van, he ended up getting assaulted and ended up dying. He was beaten badly, essayed, and ended up dying. Because a lot of times the parents are trying to teach a lesson, and the parents, want to make sure the kid doesn't do it again. But even me in this situation, I'm thinking I would want the child to leave my house, but I still probably wouldn't feel comfortable feeding that child to the system because just like Khalif Browder, remember that documentary where they thought he had something in his backpack, he ended up going to Rikers, he was never the same again, right? He ended up having all kind of things happen in jail. Jay-Z did the pay for the documentary, Khalif Browder story, right? And then he ended up coming home taking his own life. So like even now, the system, right? As a black parent, I'm like, well, he would have to leave my house, but I would have to figure out whose house that child is going to, because I know once you throw these 1 in 10, I think in the black community are right now in foster care and in the system, like at alarming rates, because all they need now is suspicion. So if somebody just suspects something's wrong, even if you don't want the child to leave, they could take the child. So there's a whole epidemic of black children, in particular, being snatched out of these households. Not just people on welfare, not just people on drugs. There's a lot of people who are suffering because the system is taking their children, and then once you put them in there, it's a lot harder to get them back out, even when they do get rehabilitated. So you caught him in a tough spot. Like they would have to get out of my house though. So if there's I wouldn't even say grandparents. I wouldn't put that on the elders either. I would have
Ash's question is, who is taking that child?
That's what I'm about to say. I need that knucklehead in the family. I got some knuckleheads in my family, and people act crazy with who they got crazy with. I got some people in my family that if my child tries me, this uncle, we had an uncle that fought in Korea. His name was Philip Smith. He was the captain of the Black Liberation Army. If you know about the Black Liberation Army, that was like the military wing of the Black Panthers. Like they was even more military. There was a man who died like 15 years ago because they said under suspicious circumstances, they threw a Molotov cocktail, a little thing like the bankers have in the police station. They went to the precinct and threw a Molotov cocktail and blew up a police station 50 years ago. And this member of the Black Liberation Army, the BLA, what Assata Shakur was affiliated with when they were breaking people out of prison. So we got somebody in my family that was a supreme captain of the Black Liberation Army. I kid you not. There was a time where I was choked in school by an administrator in high school. When I tell you this man came to me with tears in his eyes a few days later, apologizing to me because the captain of the Black Liberation Army, Philip Smith, had contacted him and he had the fear of God in him. I would send my child to Philip Smith. Because either you're going to come back in a body bag or you're going to come back right. But I'm not gonna get into the system because at least if you improve, Phil gonna let you come back home. In the system,
Mike said he calling the cops on you.
Oh, yeah, I'm not-
Mike said he
I'm
calling
not-
the cops. The cops are coming in.
Well, I'd be scared because I don't know if y'all know. I had my line brother in college. That's how he died. The family called the cops for a routine call. He was acting a little erratic, and they blew his brains out in front of his mom and his sister. So every time the cops are called, somebody could die. So even if I'm calling the cops on somebody else, I'd be scared because all it takes is for them to think it's me. And there's a lot of instances where somebody calls 911, right? The black person calls 911, and they kill that black person. There's a lot of those stories. You can type in YouTube, and everything come up, right?
To tell him that.
So
let's stop right there. I'm not changing. The only thing I'm telling you is even Dr. Aaron Smith said you're either changing when you go to that house or you're coming back in a body bag.
Oh yeah. It's
so
the last step.
let's not get it fucked up.
It's the
Aaron
last
Smith
step.
is telling you this is the drastic measures that have to be taken because I got to protect the rest of my family.
Yeah, you're dangerous. If you would do that, what would you have done if I was there, or if your little brother was there, or cousin, or I don't know? What if I'd walked in while you were in that state? Because you're not well. It doesn't look like regular frustration. It looked like you had literally lost your mind. You were like outside of yourself. So if I came home and said, "What the F are you doing?" You might have said, "F you, what you gonna do?" Like, that could have so easily went so many other places just from the look of that damage. That for the sake of everybody's safety, like I said, you gotta go. I don't feel comfortable closing my eyes around nobody capable of that.
And
We
the
can't
only
be on the same
option that was given to me was taking him to a hospital. And I would have.
Getting somebody, and that'd be the second step. It would never be police. So either you're going to go to the relative, there's nobody I can send you to, we're at least going to commit you, and we're going to commit you somewhere, not these boot camp places that assault the children and end up, having all these major class action suits. Because I don't know if you know that the sister, Catch Me Outside, Bad Baby, she was saying when she was at that rehabilitation school, she was crying every night, and somebody actually died at that boot camp, and how the guards were sexually assaulting all the girls. Like I'm not putting you in that kind of situation. We're going to have to find like the celebrity rehab place where we pay a lot of money, college tuition type style. They don't let you go anywhere. But like you said, in other countries, like Norway, right? I want the country club energy with the best counseling. And when it's time to come home, I want you to come home like the rich white kids.
But if you don't have the money to do that, my thing
then
is
you stuck.
You stuck.
That's
I hate to say this, but you got to pick between the family here and this family member. And that is a cruel heart because life don't care.
That's
Life
why a lot
will
of people
be
send them
decision.
out in the street because they figure you got a better chance just getting kicked out this house than getting put in the system, especially for black men. A lot of times people say that. I hear a lot of rappers say that. My mom kicked me out when I was 15. And I think to myself, you're lucky. You're lucky she didn't put you in the system or in jail or with one of these, because they might not have let you out. At least in the street, you can fend for yourself and you got a shot. If you a hustler and you as tough as you acting in this house, you might make it in the street. So sometimes when the mom lets the children fly and be like, you got to get out this house. Like you said, if you ain't got no money, the best thing I can do is just kick you out. Because if I notify them of what you're doing and who you are, and you get labeled and you get monitored and you got to report to a parole officer and they convict you and they institutionalize you, your life might never recover. So sometimes when people say my mom kicked me out, that's like you said, if you ain't got no money, the nicest thing I can do for you is getting you out this house tonight.
LaShawn, and then we got to go to Coco's comment because I want to play fair with Coco. The guy here on 61st Street called the cops to help, ended up killing him. It happens a lot. I totally understand. The only problem is if I'm home and that happens, one of us is going in the system anyway.
One of us is going.
One of us or both of us are going in the system anyway. No, where is safe?
Nowhere.
They assault the kids in the mental health facility. That's what I'm saying. Life don't care.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
your decision is not going to be a smooth decision. Nobody's going to agree with it. Not everybody's going to agree with it. And sometimes nobody will. We need better resources. No one wants to call the cops on their kids rock in between a hard place. I do agree the cops calling will be different on a son, unfortunately. I used to work at Vision Quest for children. Boot camp.
Then you know. Yeah.
That's sad. All right, let's play this clip with Mark Lamont. He was on Piers Morgan, and this is what went down speaking about the N-word.
Country where people are allowed to say what they want unashamedly, and you will
Well, go
not
on then,
have
say
free-
it. Say
you
the
will
M.
not have
Go on,
free
say.
speech.
Go on, say the M word. Go on.
I'm
No.
not
hang
Don't
on.
invite. No. I don't want you to invite this woman to say a racially harmful term in front of me because I'm the only on here. So if she says it, I'm the victim of it. So please don't invite her for ratings to call me the N-word because that's basically what it's going to be. There's a bunch of white people up here. You and one Uncle Tom on the left here, and to ask her to say the N-word while I'm here is ridiculous. You would not sit here with a Jewish person and say, please use a Jewish slur in front of this Jewish. It's ridiculous. I understand you don't have any bad intent, Pierce. I understand what you're trying to do, but we already know she's racist, and I don't want to invite a racial harm to me.
I hear you, and I accept that, and we'll leave it there. Thank you.
I would.
All right, so this is what brought our show into an uproar yesterday. So, and listen, y'all asked for it. Y'all asked for it.
Yeah, because we had a Caucasian supporter that said, "Why is he screaming for no reason?" And then it was double down. Well, as a white woman, I was called a white bitch before as a cop. So
I don't see.
But that's what happened.
Yeah, but that's not totally in totality.
It's called a white B. Okay.
With the
try to justify it.
But
Yeah,
see, either you got to get the comments, but paraphrasing, it's not actually how it happened.
That's what it was.
That's not actually how it happened. Jay got this bug up his whatever, and he wanted you. If we're gonna put it out there, put it out there. There were multiple people who were like, him yelling makes it seem it takes away. I didn't agree with it because I understood his passion.
And that's what he said. Funny, you know, I'm familiar with Mark, and I watch his channel, and he actually spoke about that incident, and he said just what you just said, Mike. He said, I wasn't angry. He said, people that know me know when I'm angry. He said, I was just doing it for emphasis. I'm being passionate. And when you're on these panels, especially when people are talking at the same time, he had to let it be known, no, the facilitator is not in control anymore. Because normally, if he had just talked normal, they would say to Mark, stop, you know, then that people would have kept talking. He came in a way, right, as people who, like we all do, we sit on panels, we talk with people at the same time. If you have to get a point across, it's different when you're just trying to make a statement and make a point, or if you have to like have a point of order, like, oh, whoa, like, you know, excuse me, like something. That's like saying you're on mute. You stop everything. They can't hear you. Like, stop right now. Like, don't even keep it going. And to do that on a platform like that, he would have had to interject passionately in such a way that the people, as you saw, stopped even trying to talk. Something must be going on. It's almost like somebody saying fire, right? So I saw it and understood it. And honestly, for the people who are feeling the same way he's feeling, you have to communicate the resonance. Like, I get it. Because the people that were watching thinking, you wouldn't do this to no Jewish person. You wouldn't do this to no Asian. You wouldn't tell them to say no racial slur, especially in front of a person of that group. Like, like the fact that you feel that comfortable, you need to be checked, Pierce. And you've been getting too comfortable for a long time with a lot of this stuff with Israel and Gaza and everything. But today is the day where you don't do that Gaza stuff over here, these African Americans, not in our face.
And I did not agree with the comment because I said when we are speaking, we are giving ground rules that other people aren't given. When we raise our voice, we are angry or less educated. But those aren't the ground rules for everybody who speaks in public. But on the flip side, I want to say if she made a comment to her, he was yelling unnecessary. I don't agree with that. And the doubling down was a whole conversation that went back and forth. And then she brought up, y'all act like I ain't never been called a white bitch or whatever. And that was taken as her doubling down. Now, if you took it like that, that's the way you took it. But I just want to give the context on everything that there was a buildup between the conversation of him being loud and her bringing that comment up of comparing.
And she uses the N-word, right? She's the one that proudly says she uses the N-word.
Oh, the one on TV.
Well, he's talking about the
lady
viewer.
on our show. The viewer.
The comment. Okay, yes. Somebody said they called a white B. Oh, just for edification, I want to make sure I share this because I saw a couple comments about the officer. His name is Mark LaSure. So it's L-E and then a capital S-U-R-E. That's the detective. He's a former Memphis detective who spoke out against the city's policing for the killing of Tyree Nichols, was found dead in his driveway. And that was a year ago. Mark LaSure, capital L-E, then it's capital S-U-R-E, like a French one word. Mark LaSure was killed. So rest in peace to Mark LaSure, the Memphis detective who spoke out and ended up dead.
And LaShawn we were questioning LaShawn. She asked, why was he so hyped too? Till Mike told me Pierce was doing it for ratings that got why he was so passionate. Yeah, because Pierce has been milking this game just like Vlad in an international way, where he sits there and he puts people in situations where he's trying to provoke something because he knows the ratings will rise and the viral moment. This is why we're talking about it. This is exactly what he wanted. I understood Mark's passion, no matter what Pierce's mission was. I understood his passion too. I don't want to be misconstrued. I got what he was doing. I got what he was saying. But I just want, the only reason I'm clearing it up, because I want everything to be in its total context on what went on, that one of our viewers said that she felt it was uneducated. And I'm
saying the way that he responded?
Yes, I'm paraphrasing. I'm paraphrasing it, but I think it was something about it made it less.
Well, no, I agree. He said I'm the only N-word on here, so I don't think he was trying to take an educated approach. Like as a person who publishes books, he's been an endowed chair, right? Like, which means he's not just tenured, but he had like a special budget and travel allotments, which is the highest level you can get as a tenured professor, is to have an endowed chair. Mark Lamont Hill had an endowed chair at Temple. That's why when he made the comments about River to the Sea and Temple tried to have him fired because the community was in uproar, they weren't able to take his tenure, but they were able to take his endowed chair. And that's why he just went over to City College and take his talents to South Beach. Like, I know that Mark Lamont Hill, like Michael Eric Dyson, if he wanted to, he could have used 1,000,000 syllables. Like, he opted to code switch in a way that related to the people, as Malcolm has done, as Baldwin has done. There's times where they speak plain language to make sure that it resonates in a different way culturally and layered culturally, so he can communicate with us back home, who, when they first heard him say that, was like, oh my God, no, he didn't. That's who he was talking to. He was checking Pierce, but he's also letting us know, I got this, y'all. Because I've been the only Black person on the panel, and I know when you're the representative for a people in situations of racial insensitivity, you got to make sure you do it, but do it a certain way that you don't compromise your Blackness or who you are. And sometimes it's important for you not to be too polite and not to sugarcoat or whitewash for the sake of white convenience when you know that Black people are home in pain. And a lot of times you want to speak to the pain of Black people more than the comfort and convenience of white people or Black people that want to act right in front of massa. You shouldn't have acted like that in front of them folks. No, shut up.
She's
I'm ignorant and all niggified because they want to play that game. They want to talk nigga talk and play me like I'm a nigga. And sometimes every Black person knows sometimes you got to get with them on that nigga type time because that's the only thing that resonates with them. When you try to be polite, you try to say, oh, I didn't do anything, until you get up in their face and they think they about to get knocked the F out, that's when everything shifts for a lot of these Karens and a lot of these racists and even these people protesting in some of these communities. When them Black folks went and got guns and then it was like, oh, we're getting back in our van. Every other time you yelling N-word all down Main Street until you about to get shot.
All right, let me read this because I'm totally confused.
And he's still educated. Just because he talks like that doesn't mean he's not educated. And that's perfect.
Okay, let me read this comment. Maybe I need to jump on next week, Mike, because you're making it one-sided. Because that's not. How am I making it one-sided?
They blamed you.
I'm the one
trying
to
see how hard it is to have these conversations. You can't win sometimes.
Defend the YTs, Mike. See, they turn.
I'm the one trying to bring balance to it.
But a lot of these are no-win conversations. I've accepted it. I left the news one time. My phone was ringing. Somebody I never gave my number to, and he called up like threatening me and everything. I get off the air with Fox. I was leaving Center City, like literally 5 minutes from being on the air. You're effing like Biden, and you think that you effing libs and cursing, yelling, talking. I'm so dumb and all this stuff. And I just laughed and I was like, hey, sir, how you doing? You know, it's like Biggie in that interlude. Oh, you gonna kill me? Word, Duke, word, right? Like this comes with it. You could say the nicest so-called, and that day I had on a bow tie and I was so-called educated, right? So even when you do talk that way, it's not like they accept it. They didn't accept Malcolm when he made points. They didn't accept Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King went to Morehouse when he was 14, Mike. He was a child prodigy. He was a damn genius. Guess what they did? Shot him through his throat.
Okay, give me a minute because everything you said was spot on. Even LaShawn said she thought the same thing. Put the other comment. I'm trying to make the conversation not one-sided. I'm trying to explain that there was more dialogue in between. So how am I, unless that was a typo, I'm the one I'm trying to go against that. And there she goes blaming Mike and Jay as the aggressors towards her while never clarifying what she meant. Listen, I'm not trying. I didn't even want to get into this.
As soon as you said play the clip from, they wanted to hear what Dr. Smith had to say from
they
the
asked.
Yeah, they did act.
I believe that the conversation went somewhere different.
Well, of course you want to move forward, Legs. You're a white woman that made some horrible comments, and then of course you want to move forward.
I think for historical context, right? My professorial prerogative, I would draw people's attention because I know Mike made a good statement, and you did too, Jay, about Pierce. You know, like Mike said about Vlad, and you made a similar statement about the manipulation, right? For the views, for the likes, for the money. the historical reference I would give people is the Royal Rumble. If you're a wrestling fan, you might have grew up hearing the term Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble was originally when the slave masters would have the black children, oftentimes blindfolded, and they would fight each other for the amusement of the white enslavers. You might have seen it in movies like Django Unchained, right? You see the young people or even the older black people fighting and the white people watching. Leonardo DiCaprio's character, right? They're watching black people fight when they come in the room. Also, the story of James Brown. James Brown, if you watch his Chadwick Boseman in the movie, there's a scene where he's a young kid and James Brown is in these Royal Rumbles. He's getting paid, not just to dance, but he's also getting paid to fight other young black children because that tradition lasted even up to that time. Jack Johnson started the same way, Royal Rumbles, white people paying him a nickel or something to fight. So we've seen this for a long time where white people sit back, they cause dissension amongst black people, and whether it's fisticuffs or rhetorical debates, they sit back and make all the money while black people tear each other apart. So when Pierce throws that red meat out there for this racist white woman to offend all of black America, it's a long-standing tradition. And then they hide their hand and act like they didn't know what they were doing or they didn't mean it. And that's why I think Mark understanding history is like, no, you knew what you were doing, even when he tried to be polite. So I think the one thing that Mark did that I don't know if he fully agreed with was when he said, Pierce, I know you didn't mean it. And I think he was saying that just to make sure he stayed on. That was the politics. I think
that was the politics. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yes,
I'm glad you brought that up.
That I think he was saying just to get back on the show and everything like that to keep it.
Because that non-aggressive, I know you didn't mean, no.
He knew.
You're the same person who, agree or not agree, you gave Jaguar Wright the platform.
Mm-hmm.
But then you took it back when Jay-Z got in that ass.
Yeah, again, see, that's why you need somebody to step to.
When somebody checked you. All right, we're about to wrap up because I got to get out of here. Yes, Keen, it was microaggression and teaching moment instead of condemning. Nikki White Chocolate said it. Listen, I thought it was a safe space too. I was just exactly. You can burn prepared to be jumped on. Okay. How long will we hold on? Forgiveness is for you. How long will we hold on? I never made it unsafe. I only commented when the double down happened.
That's true. That's what Afro Queen did. That's what she did. We just try to police our emotions. And yeah. That's when Afro Queen jumped in.
And the doubling down, I was trying to say there was stuff in between that was going back and forth. So once again, I'm not saying I agree. I'm trying to bring balance to a conversation. That there was a whole bunch of comments going back and forth when she said, y'all act like I've never been called a white bitch. And y'all took it as the double down. I'm not saying anybody was wrong. I'm just saying, but we got to look at the gradual progression of the conversation that led to that. That was it.
Any reference of your personal journey and relates to being called the N-word and how we've had to struggle for all these years, and any comment of which reference of, well, I've been called a white bitch before is to say, well, I can relate. Well, what about me? Like, no one asks for you to your personal interjection of your personal story related because it can't relate. You can't.
And I said that last week when I talked about individuals. I said every time we talk about race, somebody puts up their hand and talks about their individual participation or engaging with the community. I said, how insane would that be if I stepped into a room of women who have been victims of assault and I said something about how nice I was to women that I knew, and they'd be like, what are you even talking about? Why are you saying that? This had nothing to do with you. The system and the history and the tradition still exist. We've all been assaulted, and the numbers are still the numbers in terms of partners being killed every 3 minutes. Like, why are you talking about how nice you are? What happened to you? Why are you making it about you when it's actually about us? It's time for you to learn and listen and play the margins, and you're usually already centered. So like, it's all of that going on at the same time when people do those individual, this and this other part too. Again, I think Paul Mooney said it best. I could be a bigot. I could be prejudiced. I could be rude. I could be a jerk. He said, I can call you every kind of cracker in the world. He said, the difference is that's not going to stop you from walking to that bank and getting that loan. So you might have been called all kind of names, but the names we were called were attached to murder. The names we were called were attached to rape. The names we were called were attached to towns being buried underwater and burned to the ground. The names hit different when there's a systemic oppression and a tradition of murder and pillage that goes along with it. So you just having your feelings hurt. It's not the same as me having my family killed.
I gotta go. I'm late for work. Lady Q said attacked in the space and time when clarity was being sought. Nikki, don't do that. An opinion is an opinion, and that's fine. What that was microaggression and was policing a black man's emotion. And then she centered herself and said she was being attacked in a space and time when clarity was being sought on her statement. All right. Obviously, we're going to go round and round. I was just saying I also been through things. That was it. And for and I just want to say this because I got to take responsibility for this. Because obviously, when people bring their experiences in here, this is what I have asked for. So let me take responsibility for that. I have asked for people to bring their personal experiences and to bring that into the comments. I've asked for that. I'm not taking, I don't agree with what she said, but I just, in this one little space, if I have to take responsibility for saying like everybody brings experiences that they went through on this show for everything. Everything. Everybody brings an experience. They won't get it, Dr. Aaron. It will still be, what about me? We need to stop coddling their feelings. I'm not coddling anybody's feelings. What I want to say is that I asked for that. Now, the agreement, I don't agree. But I can't build a platform to want people to share. Y'all can get mad, but I can't get mad that she shared. I may not agree with what she shared, but I can't ask you to share and then say it was wrong to share. I don't agree with what it was. So,
all right. Ending on a positive. It's Mother's Day this weekend.
It's Mother's Day.
Those who might be going through grief. You got both sides. I saw Fox did a story. They had grief counselors because everyone is, also may have lost a mother. So yeah, we got to be mindful of that as well. But it's a holiday to celebrate the living and as well as celebrating the ones that moved on. So I don't know. What do you do for Mother's Day, Mike? You buying your mom something? You just gonna have some dinner?
Me and my mom, we gotta figure everything out because everybody can't be here on Sunday, so they might do something Saturday. So we got to work things. I'm about to smoke this weed and go to sleep.
Oh, it's Ash's birthday too. Why you wait till
happy birthday? I gotta go, y'all. I gotta go. We went way long. Happy birthday, happy birthday, Ash. We're gonna definitely wish you more happy birthday, Lady Q. We got to give her a square next week for clarification. Yes. Also, the Mother's Day thing, it just goes back to all these holidays that we forget all the people going through something. So everybody going through something who this is going to be a tough day for, because the businesses, this day wasn't created and hasn't manifested into we want to honor mothers. This is based on money. This is based on the industry who wants to. Now, our personal, we are showing our gratitude to our mothers. For all those going through something, our prayers are with you. If this is your roughest holiday ever because it's your first time without your mother, our prayers go with you. If your mother's been gone for 20 years and it's still the roughest holiday, our prayers are with you. We hope that you can find some comfort in the memories that you had. So we pray for you. Love me for who I am, not who you want me to be, because I can never be that. Understand there's only one thing in life that's guaranteed. It will end. So enjoy every minute, every second. You fight for everything in life. Fight for your happiness. Never let anything take it from you. God got you. Michael Sean, Fearless, Dr. Aaron Smith, Jay Black, Sexy Mo, Lady Q, Woke Up Inspired, C Chung, Sexy Mo, and Amani, and my man Financial Rebel. We are gone in.
Michael Sean and the Takeover Legends, where the truth